hello. Let me see if I can actually get this working. God, the audio capture, the application audio capture shit is so weird. Is it gonna work now? There we go.
One, two, three, go.
Just wanted to share a little bit of this as we get started on the final day of the Shmup-a-Thon. One cartridge remains. Has G Darius HD and Darius Burst EX Plus on it.
My hero has been struggling for 10, 20, 30, or 40 years. I've heard him complaining about his life.
Go away.
Didn't know how valuable he was.
This is Zior Park, and he's amazing. And so is his band.
He was a hero once upon a time. Now can he resize every holiday? Push me hard to the bloody battlefield. Face myself in the mirror in the word before. I left home, it looked like his hero. You get me roots, see the branch, you get me itch. You said that you fell about
Dude, go away.
Here's your masterpiece, watch you one more. You get me tools, see how I'ma use these tools.
He's got such a unique voice.
My dude, let's finish you what we've been struggling for. Yeah, hero in the mirror, let go of yourself. Life's so bittersweet, like bourbon whiskey. You never know how to enjoy this. Yeah, why you being so mean to yourself? Do you really think that money can solve it? And what if you get rich when you're dead? Are you gonna be peaceful after that? You have to know the moment when you have to put down your soul. Know the word is good, that's why still hold the soul for you. Even though it's more better, you still don't know how to celebrate it. Stop thinking of it, then number just for now.
Dude.
Can you just get the towns we got
Go away.
now? You pass through a lot of landscape, but you don't know how to celebrate it. See the branch, you get me issues. You said that you better luck. Here's a masterpiece, watch you one more. You get me tools, see how I'ma use these tools. Don't worry, I got my dude. Let's finish what we've been struggling for. Hero in the
All right. We've got the game set up. Song's almost over, and we're gonna move on. This is pretty cool. This came in from B Squared's brother, Mr. Grumpy Snorlax. His album Surf on cassette, along with a kick-ass Grumpy Snorlax sticker. Gifting that to my good buddy, who's a cassette collector. Yeah, exactly.
You get me roots, see the branch.
It'll be perfect for lake cabin enjoyment this summer.
Here's your masterpiece, watch you one more. You get me tools, see how I'ma use these tools. Don't worry, I got my dude. Let's finish you what we've been struggling for. Yeah, let's go.
Zior Park and the Orange Heads. Their heads are very orange. Although I think only Zior Park and maybe his guitar player actually have orange hair. The rest of them look like wigs. Kamsahamnida. All right. Well, as you can see here, we've just got the one game left. I think what we'll do today is after playing the game, we're going to do kind of like just a brief look through each one of the videos that I've posted on YouTube and try to actually come back and do ratings for each one of the games. I got to have a gimmick. Yeah, I know. What am I going to do after this is over, man? I think for a little while, I'm going to go back to allowing people to choose what I play with channel points. And also, I don't know. I think I might try to run through the Xenoblade games. I've been toying around with that idea in my head. I've got a couple redesigns I want to do to the stream overlays and stuff like that before I move forward. But yeah, enough of that crap. Let's get to the gaming. So again, we've got Darius Cosmic Revelations. This is another one of those funny cartridges that they decided to remove English from with an update. So I just haven't updated this game. Because the other game that came with us was Darius Burst EX, and that did get a Western release, but that was only announced after this one was already for sale in Japan. So of course I bought the Japanese version because it wasn't certain we were getting one in the West. And this is one of 3 cartridges, I believe, that I can confirm have had English removed via an update. So English stays on it unless you update it, which is obviously bullshit. If you want to sell a Western copy of the game and have English on it and be the only one, maybe you should fucking announce the game sooner or something, instead of putting people in a situation like where they could have already purchased the game and then they remove functionality that was already in the game. I don't know, maybe I'm fucking crazy, but that sounds like a stupid ass business move. It doesn't really leave a good taste in people's mouths. Anyways, let's round off this Shmup-a-Thon. This is it. These are the last 2 games we're playing for this marathon. This video game is for use in Japan only. Bullshit. Fuck you. Gonna probably need all 9 of those credits. Tachyon drive system. Sounds pretty quiet. Turn up the game audio a little bit there. Yeah. This might be my favorite Darius. Now, I may be remembering this wrong, but I think this was originally out on PS1 in Japan. Maybe it was Saturn. Not 100% sure. I'm gonna have to wait till in between levels. It doesn't let me pause it. Oof. Oh, there we go. It does let me pause it. I'm gonna turn up the game volume even a little bit more. That's a little bit better. Fishman. I believe there might actually be a shark boss in this one too. A shark alarm? Question mark? Potentially. The Darius games definitely do feature a lot of sea life as enemies. We ain't doing so bad. Might have just mouthed myself. Flying fish. Ooh. Yep, the mouthing begins. No. Wow. Oh. Eclipse Eye. Piranha alarm. Oh, good God. Come on now. Piranha alarm. Nose laser. Oh, why'd I do that? I thought he was gonna keep moving down. Ugh. My ass handed to me here. See, at least with this Darius, it gives you a little bit of power up once you've died. R-Type wouldn't do that in a million years. Take that, fish.
Meditation.
Beta or gamma? I guess. Wow, it really doesn't give you much time to select there. Zone gamma. So I'm not sure which route has the shark boss. I'm pretty sure it's this game that has the shark boss. This Darius. I'm not sure we'll get to see it because it's probably on one specific route. No! Oh, son of a bitch. No, you motherfucker. Queen Fossil. Almost forgot about the captures. Yeah, we did fly right into its mouth. Oh, fuck! Again, never claimed to be good at these games. Stop looking at me like that, I can see it. Oh god, I remember those now. Oh fuck. Don't eat me. Come on, man. Hitboxes, please. Jesus Christ, those are so hard to avoid. He's back. Ow. Whew. I think I'm still doing damage to him, I can't be sure. A little bit of red flashing going on there. Oh. Don't eat me. Oh my god. I think I might have spent all my good gameplay yesterday. What do I do about that? That's just like a Mom, I need more quarters moment for sure. Son of a bitch. I think the console version was exclusive to PS1 in Japan originally, G Darius. I'm I'm pretty sure this did start out in the arcades still. You dead yet? Jesus Christ. These boss fights are so long. Meditation? I want to end up in the middle routes. Yeah, let's go with Epsilon. Galaxy Islands. No. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God, I thought that was my weapon that I just picked up. It wasn't. Jesus fucking Christ. Wow. Okay, that's a wall. The more you know. Yep. Word. Hello there, Mr. Rude. I'm not even sure I'm here, so. Okay, I'm just now remembering how some of these mechanics work. Dimension Diver. Whoa. Oh, these bosses are fucking cool, though. Turn around. Oh. That's what this series is all about, though. Every boss is some sort of sea creature. Whoa. This is why I think we do have to worry about shark alarm potentially. I'm pretty sure there's a shark boss in this, but there's like a ton of different routes you can take through the game levels. I do not remember where the shark boss is, or I totally would have gone for it. Ah! Just to intentionally set off a shark alarm. Oh my god, dude. These blades are dicks. They're dicks. Bosses have so much fucking health, it's insane. Either that or you're just meant to actually keep your power-ups somehow. Oh, fuck off. Okay, so he's doing all the same patterns, just everything's faster now, which is great. Fuck. I wonder if I could have captured those guys. Nice, we got him. It's kind of like a shark slash flying fish thing. Let's go with Theta, because why not? Didn't just add a credit. You didn't see that. The fuck, bro? God damn it. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, this level's fucking crazy. Oh, Oh my god. Wow. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Dude. This game's fucking impossible. It has the aspects that I like when it comes to... Most of the time it's about reaction. Most of the time. But then you've got things you can't possibly predict. So it feels a little bit more like R-Type when it comes to that. But at least the bullets like follow you and they're not just like in impossible memorization only patterns. Ooh, hello. Good fucking god, dude. But this boss, yeah, like, until you've fought this guy like 20 times, like, how the fuck are you supposed to know where to go there? And again, right after I said it, like, those are the bullets I don't like. The ones that are just, you can only avoid if you've memorized it. There's no way you can do that first try. Ain't no fucking way. I just like too many games to play one over and over. I think that's kind of my problem too when it comes to a lot of these. And especially one like this, like, the graphics are amazing, the design is awesome, the music's nice and weird and creepy. It's got a lot of unique, cool shit happening in it. Yeah, like, what the fuck is that shit? Excuse me? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh. Ugh. I almost made it through half of a wave of that. Almost. Are you really sure you want to play this game is what it's asking. God, fuck off. Holy shit, I didn't get hit. Oh, okay. Tail is a hurt box. Okay, I did see where you're supposed to go there. I was just way too late for it. You're telling me you're supposed to sit in the middle there somehow. Help! Please help. Fuck. Fuck. Feels like this has to be the stingray that killed Steve Irwin, man. God, I miss Steve Irwin.
Meditation.
I'm gonna go to new. And maybe this is the hardest route. I have no idea what the different routes are in this. It's probably my third time playing this. I think I took top route last time. So these are all like first time I'm seeing these levels for the most part. Get off of me! Personal space. Get out of my personal space. One, get out of my personal space. Two, need you out of my personal space. Three, get out of my personal space. I really need you out of my personal space. Good God. Well, hello. Really need you out of my personal space. Alright, this is another one of the shmups like R-Type that I'm just gonna, after stream, I'm gonna cry a bit and then go watch a speedrun of this. Or high score run, 1 credit clear. Just get my shit kicked in mentally. How does anybody do this, even with memorization? This shit's fucked. Again, cool design, cool graphics, survivability, 0 out of 10. Saying it now. The only time this has ever been 1cc'd is by a task. There's no fucking human way possible. Tasks only. Tasks only or a whole purse full of mom's quarters. God fucking damn it, dude. And this might have been the hardest route. I'm not 100% sure. The embryon. My god, a bullet pattern you can actually do something with. Holy shit. I'm winning, Dad. I avoided one pattern. I consider that a win. We beat the game. We avoided one pattern. That's a win. What is this thing? Some kind of jellyfish frog. And this kind of does have that feeling that, like, not only are you meant to memorize it, but you're also supposed to get here with way more power-ups. Seems like the only way it's realistic. Oh. Fuck your mouth. Is what it says. No. Anus. This is crazy. I'm about to be like 9 credits on this one level. 84 credit clear. Oh. The shit and the piss. Yep. Holy fuck, how it mixes up the pattern there is just fucking crazy. Woo! Yeah, this one game I feel like would take like a year of playing it to get decent at it. This is one of the hardest shmups that isn't R-type. Aww. That's called replayability. How's it going, Color Theory? Yeah, that's definitely one word for it, man. Whew. Where'd you find that at? Is that a eBay purchase, I assume? Just because you don't hear PC Engine CD very often at all. Anywhere, let alone on eBay. No fucking way, that's awesome. Oh, maybe I misunderstood then. I thought you said you were already back. Or are you back and you just got it while you were over there? But yeah, that's a good fucking pickup. Because again, I certainly appreciate R-Type. Do not get me wrong there. Like, its place in shmup history cannot be ignored whatsoever. And there's a lot of design aspects I like about R-Type, but the one I don't is like, it was still in that era where it's like, yeah, your mom's quarters better be on hand. You are not beating this. No matter how good you are, no matter what kind of reaction time you have, no matter what kind of autistic wonder kid you are, like, it's just not happening. Like, no amount of virtuosity can prepare you for those games. Like, even if you're built different, like, that's gonna take you a long time to learn. Oh, no way. I didn't know about that. I didn't know there were any multi-card games like that. Kind of a noob when it comes to TurboGrafx, PC Engine stuff. I know the bare minimum. I had one friend who had a regular TG16 as a kid. My experience is very limited with that system. Ugh. This definitely feels like a final boss. Oh. Did you see that? I almost avoided 2 bullets. You proud of me, Dad? Oh my god. Why? Why'd you turn me around? Don't do that. It's not fair. It's totally not fair. As a real animal. What is this thing? Is it one of those sea shrimp things that people had in the 80s? Oh, really? Cleone. Cleone? It's all transparent like this and everything, too? So I'll have to look it up. It's cool as fuck. Ah! Sea life is fucking crazy and alien looking, man. Like, I certainly understand why they decided to make a shmup out of sea life. It makes all the sense. Oh, and they're aggressive. That makes this even more true to life. Yeah, I'll have to look into that when the stream is over. Find deep sea stuff just really fucking fascinating, how little we know about the depths of the ocean still. Not sure how true the meme is that we know more about the surface of the moon than the floor of the ocean, if that still rings true at this day and age, but... Oh yeah, dude, ITZY was phenomenal. First K-pop show I've seen that had a live band, and that made all the difference in the world, man. Like, I'm into all kinds of music and love really good instrument performances, and they had an amazing crew with them. So it's so nice to hear like rock and roll versions of all their songs. And yeah, performance was top notch. The backup dancers were amazing. They were amazing. Their voices sounded great. They appeared happy, having a great time. Audience was awesome. Hell of a good show. Would recommend. I just wish they happened more often in my area. That's not the case, and I still had to drive 500 miles to get to this one. That's close. Final zone is over. Epilogue. ITZY played two different shows in Texas, or they're playing 2 shows in Texas this tour. I think they're hitting Chicago, they're hitting Atlanta. Yeah, I fucking love the graphics, the music, the enemy design. Yeah, perfect emo, Matt. Oh. Ooh, very cool. Yeah, I'm sure Baby Metal will put on an awesome show. Their band is really badass. Thanks for the GG. Do I deserve it? We'll let the credits roll. And listen to this awesome music too. No, I'd still, for my personal enjoyment level, when it comes to how casual I am with these and not trying to 1cc everything. Shut up, Matt! No, they're not too Western. And I guess, okay, they have a lot of Western influence. I'll give you that. But if I were to be more specific, what it is with Blackpink that I don't like, it's like they take their Western influence from like Nicki Minaj. So it's that kind of Western influence that I don't like. If they want to take heavy metal and shit like, right? Yeah, no, that's my problem with Blackpink. They started out like so innocent, so traditionally Korean, and then it's like, yeah, they met some producer in Hollywood that's like, here, this is what you should do. And yeah, that was kind of my reaction to it as well. I still really like Blackpink's like first 2 releases. They're classic. I think success is measured in more than just financial gain. Yes, it worked financially for them. 100%, but I do think they alienated not just me, you know? Because they did change quite a bit, which they're allowed to do. And no, I'm not going to update the software because that would require them removing English from the game. So we're not going to do that. And yeah, no, I wish the girls all the success in the world. I'm just personally not a fan. No, absolutely. Now, and I'll give you that too, man. I just prefer that that's the kind of influence they put out there. Even if they themselves aren't innocent, I do prefer the more not overtly crazy sexual stuff and 403 stuff being shown to little girls as that's what they should be. Because Because yeah, I'm also not Tipper Gore and thinking, you know, that everything needs to be censored. People are allowed to like what they want. That's just no. Okay. Think it's gonna make me lose English here. I think either that or G Darius is the one that loses English if you update. I think this one I had to update, and the reason it's making me update now is I have a save file that I had for my previous Switch. Oh. But yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not naive to the whole that a lot of it is an act. It's a lot harder to pull that off, though. I think simply because of the amount of exposure they have, and they're either acting 24/7 or at least part of that. You get to see a little bit of who they are. And I know it's part of the culture too, and it's part of the expectations. But I mean, like there are certain members who do a lot for the community and spend a lot of donating of their time. Let alone the fact that every adult in Korea is required to do military service, which is very different from the West. There's kind of more of a core structure of serving others kind of built into that. And for me, it's not only like the groups I really like. They're talented with the singing and the dancing first and foremost. That's what matters to me. And then right behind that is like the content of their lyrics. I am not a huge fan of really bass ass lyrics. Let's see. Cabinet select. Sure. Or cabinet 22, I guess. Button config. All right, we got shot, burst, F burst, turn. We're gonna want turn set to. Okay, R is what I wanted it. Okay, we'll figure it out. X is stop. Jesus Christ. And I guess it didn't take away English, so that's good. Hey, there we go. Let's go for normal again. Let's go with this one. We got ultra wide screen here. 4-player multiplayer Darius. So, I'm pretty sure this was not developed that long ago. Holy shit, this one's so much louder. So much fucking louder. Yeah, and they've got good producers and stuff. Like, their very first album, well, some of it not so much, depending on which tracks you're looking at. I do believe they actually do have a song with Nicki Minaj now. But yeah, their very first album, man, like it was it's far closer to like what you see more commonly out of Korean culture than out of the US culture. Far more positivity in the lyrics in a way that's not just like, it's my hot body, I'm gonna do what I want. Cartman shit. They've gone off the cliff on the Maury Povich side of things. And the ones I'm more fond of, like particularly with ITZY, for example, like their lyrics are about just like empowerment and like being happy, finding your true self type of stuff, you know, like just really encouraging and uplifting lyrics. And I still listen to a lot of metal, don't get me wrong, but I spent like a lot of my 20s like really brooding and listening to a lot of emo and goth music and really dark stuff. So I mean, like, I think part of the reason that I became so into it and got like really into thoughtful pop music is that like it's a balance I never really found in music, and it was always like, oh, I relate to how depressing this other stuff is, which sometimes I still can, and I still like metal and shit like that, but I don't know, I found something really valuable and wholesome with a certain number of these groups. And it's certainly not every group, because I mean, it's not just Blackpink either that I feel has gone very westernized to try to capitalize on our audience over here. Which I won't blame them, and I don't hate them. I don't think they're bad people. It's just not for me. Certainly don't think people should be enjoying music just because I do. But like, I'll force Florida to listen to it because, you know, he allows us to. Oh, I almost made it through that. You hate them for the both. Thank you for taking that weight off my shoulders. I'm not super, like, I do know a bit of Girls' Generation, for example. It's just not going to do it. Cool. Alert's completely broken. Wow. Okay, well, never mind. Oh, there we go. Is it going to play all of them now? There's Girls' Generation for you. I'm gonna be so pissed if it plays like 5 of these in a row now. Yep, alright. Well, sorry for that. I don't know how to cancel alerts, I'm sorry. I don't know how to get them started, and I don't know how to cancel them. All I wanted to do was show color theory that I do know who Girls' Generation is. And then this happened because I was like, well, it's not working. Let me spam it a bunch. All right, good. It only played it twice. Nope. Oh, God damn it. Fucking perfect. I appreciate that. You understand me. But yeah, there's a handful of Girls' Generation songs that I've liked, but certainly not one of my favorite groups, and I don't know a lot about them. I just figured that'd work as a really good GG alert. But not when it's spam, which is also why I made it cost 500 channel points at least. I can't imagine if my alerts had the ability to like play at the same time. Like, I don't know why they don't. I thought that was something that was gonna happen. Like in Matt's stream when we all woo a bunch and it all plays at the same time. I don't know why mine don't do that. I couldn't see any settings for that. Woo! That's right, I have the ability to turn around in this one. It's just I've got to break my fingers to do it with how I have the buttons set up. Woo! It's pure madness. But yeah, now that I've got my alerts set up through Twitch, it's kind of fucky too because like the alerts don't work for me to test when I'm not live. Like they only play if they play when I'm streaming. Oh. Turders. But I like turtles. Why are you doing this to me? Why isn't there the option to just shake hands with the turtles? Oh. Fucking ouch. I didn't know you were putting up that shield there, buddy. I mean, so far this is far more approachable than G Darius. I think that's intentional because this was developed after the arcades boom. I think this might have been available in the arcades. Oh. But it's a more modern one, so you're probably playing $1 for each credit. So it's like, oh, we'll let you live a little bit longer. A little bit. Just now see what you're saying about, yeah. Oh, it's Florida's channel. Time to mute things. I don't think I've had to mute in there yet, because I have really enjoyed like getting to know everybody's music tastes in there. 1 Bitcoin per continue. Jesus Christ. Okay, okay, that is gonna kill me. Like, where the fuck was I supposed to go there? Oh, sweet, dude. Drainus is awesome. I do like a lot of the made-for-console shmups we're getting that are based on these arcade classics that do have more modern quality of life sensibilities built in from the get-go. Because again, it's not like I hate R-Type and games that are like this where it's more memorization heavy. It's just I'm not going to play them as much because I like too many games and I'm not going to play one shmup 800 times to like get okay at it. That's just not my style. And I mean, there's a handful of ones that I'm happily going to play a few dozen times to like master a little bit more. That's only because I feel like, number one, they're worth that time, and it's also not needing to play it 1,000 times like I would for these. I also wonder on this one too, like how much they adjust the balance for single player versus 4 player. Yeah, this is nuts. The ultra widescreen is pretty cool too. I kind of wish I had an ultra widescreen monitor to play it on. But I'm okay with the black bars. It's fine. Huge battleship, hungry gluttons. You allowed to say that anymore? Is calling something a glutton, is that offensive? I don't know anymore. I'll have to ask Twitter. No, come on. I can't keep up with what offends people anymore. Yeah. It kind of feels that way. I know exactly one person who has an ultra-wide monitor set up. And it's fucking cool, especially for like racing simulators. So he's got the curved ultra-wides. They're pretty fucking nice. They were also really fucking expensive. Oh. There's specific use cases where they're nice, but yeah. Widescreen's enough. I do definitely prefer 16:9 to 4:3 when it comes to like even just like working environments, let alone like what the screen real estate does for movies and games. As far as workspace, yeah, the widescreen is nice. And then having, depending on what type of work you do, having a widescreen monitor flipped vertically is also pretty nice. You dead yet, fish? Holy shit, the bosses have a lot of life in this game. Music got pretty fucking intense for this boss. Placement of your sentry there is pretty fucking important, it seems like. Wait, that was the final zone? Please, only play it once. Thank you. Yeah, definitely a shorter one than G Darius. And it looks like there's only a handful of routes in this one. It's important to reflect on one's decisions, yes. I might trim that up a little bit too. What I did was just, I took the music video for GG and just every instance of them saying GG, I cut that out of the video and slammed it all together. Yeah, that was a self-cut. I just had the idea, I'm like, that song, GG, that would really work good as a GG alert. But yeah, I think I'm going to trim it down a little bit. Trim it down and then make it cheaper. I think let's go ahead and do the difficult route just for fun. And just because it's... Now I'm definitely doing it. But yeah, we'll do the difficult route as well. Thank you for the GGs. Let's just do original mode again. Infinite ships. And let's go hard. Hard route only. Yeah, I think there's one more tier to the other games as far as the level routes. So that's why this one seemed to go by pretty fast. Change charge. Okay. Ooh, I like the different firing patterns of this one. Holy shit, I got some power-ups. Unbelievable. Seahorse. Yeah, I do fucking love the enemies in this game. Oh. Oh. Hard route was your nickname in high school. Well, I can picture worse names than that. Oh shit, that actually uses up all the power-ups though, I think. Woo! Song's badass. Woo! Fucking horns rocking. Bendy laser dong. Yeah, this fucking soundtrack's badass. Oh! Wasn't expecting it to fire again that fast. Hey, what are you gonna do with me behind you? You can't do shit. Holy shit, lots of life though. There we go. We gotta make sure to select the bottom route on each to see the new levels. Boom! And in this one, it's like starting you with full power-ups every time you die. Which is like the exact opposite of R-Type. What am I supposed to do? Ah! Oh! Fuck. The G spot. You have entered the G zone. Brightly stare is approaching fast. Oh. Balls. Yeah, the hurt box is pretty big in this too. Like in most shmups, it's like just your cockpit, but no, it's like feels like it's any pixel of your ship, which is what it should be, honestly. Crazy. I don't know what what happened that time to make it so much more powerful. Because yeah, that was a much quicker fight than I was expecting. Okay, so trigger fire is what does it, because I used trigger fire for a while, and I'm not sure I want to, but maybe for a handful of the really short ones I can just use trigger fire then. Because I used them for my video alerts until recently. I was just trying to like consolidate it all into one place. So it would have been easier to manage, I guess. At least that was the thought. Yeah, totally. Like, learning all of this production stuff, like, made me feel like I was back in school. There was a lot I did not understand. See, compared to the last Darius game I played, like, it's so much more fair and easy to predict what's going to happen in this game. You can tell the design spec was far different. Not that it's necessarily much easier or anything. It's just more fair, I guess, if that makes sense. Gotcha. Well, thanks for letting me know that there. I guess when I was using Trigger Fire, I just didn't really have anybody spamming alerts, so it's good to know that it's something I'm already familiar with. Yeah, I would like that option for a few of them. Definitely not GG, though. We're gonna go ahead and let that one not be spammable. Woo. Apparently this is the hard route, but honestly it feels about the same, if not a little bit easier so far. Dolphins. And yeah, the laser that just deletes bullets is pretty fucking helpful too. Oh. Big ol' whale. Of course you've got a 3-section whale emote. Oh. Yeah, definitely doing much better, even though I just died a handful of times in a row. Generally, I've been doing much better here. God damn it, what? Fucking mouth. Immediately mouth. Oh, I've been doing so much better. Oh, so much better. There we go. I think it's if I'm using the laser when they use their laser that I get that insane laser. It like feeds off that laser. Ouch. Nope, that's not it. no. Fuck you, dolphin. Fuck you, whale. Gotcha, bitch. Final zone is over. That fucking emote. Thanks for the GGs. Yeah, Tiny American Psycho's got some good ones apparently too. Gotta go fast. Well, I'm gonna say that you know, kind of brings us to the end of the marathon here. I did hear the alert in my head. I was waiting for it to be used. I was bracing myself. Well, 86:33:17 is the final time. "66 games. "66 cartridges. Yeah, it is pretty damn fast. My rules for this going in were either I play it until I see credits, I play it till I get sick of it, and do it again faster. No, you. And it's actually more than 66 games. It's 66 cartridges. Like, slower, you slut. This cartridge had 2 games on it, so to actually calculate the amount of games, it would be probably around 100, to be honest, because there were a handful that were, well, we've got the Psycho collections. Each one of those cartridges had 6 games on it as well. So let's go to screen share and get that BGM going. All right. Final review. G. Darius is old school, tough. Shit game for babies is what Matt says. Darius, and actually I'm gonna do that color theory. I'm gonna go through, and I was actually thinking about doing that right now. I still do have enough time, I think, to do that. And go through my YouTube VODs and just kind of quickly scan over each one and try to do it from memory. I really should have done that from the beginning. You're 100% right. And if I don't end up doing that right now, then I will eventually have that on this. And I'll make this list public. Darius Burst, however, seems really good for multiplayer and is still a good time single player. You can tell it was made in the modern era and has more quality of life to show for it. Great music and enemy design all around. Good enough. Insert one column to the right. All right. Do I want to do this now? I think I am gonna at least start it right now. But holy shit, what a fun thing to do. I'm really glad I did this just because it made me actually use all those cartridges that are sitting on my shelf back there. Helped me replay them for not only trying to figure out which were my favorites, but also which ones I'm gonna fucking sell. Because yeah, some of them are worth quite a bit of money that I could use for better things at this point. I think I am going to sell R-Type Dimensions. That one I don't see myself going back to. And then like games like Curved Space, that was absolute garbage to me. Like, I don't even think that one's worth selling because that goes for like $20 new. So I might hold on to that just because. And I might hold on to R-Type Dimensions. It's only getting more expensive, so the collector in me is like, well, just wait another 10 years and sell that one. But who knows where we're going to be tomorrow, right? 86-33-17 is the final time. 86-33-17. Alright, so let's, I need to be able to see. Actually, yeah, that might show. Yeah, that would have showed my full name. I just avoided a doxing there. Good me. I did it. I avoided the doxing. View my channel. There we go. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and go into the Switch Shmup-a-Thon. Stardew Valley is what this one starts with, but it's not a shmup, so... Alright, Darius Cosmic Collection Console. Let's turn off the BGM here. Oh, a simpler time 4 months ago. How much has changed in that 4 months? Not much, really. Wait. I thought I just... There we go. There is a twin stick shooter. Absolutely. And that shit's hard as fuck. Journey of the Prairie King is not fucking easy. I did eventually get through it, though. And the minecart one is fucking insane. The one that unlocks afterwards. That shit's just ridiculous. Turn that up. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so what can we say about the Darius Cosmic Collection? Because it's kind of... I'm just now realizing, you know, it started with Darius and ended with Darius. You've got to beat Journey of the Prairie King. I believe that's how I did it. It's either that or it was another key that I found. I can't fucking remember at this point. Don't listen to my fucking garbage. Minecart madness. God damn it, dude. Those falling ones are terribly difficult. What are we doing here? Let me fast forward, please. Yeah, this was a solid port and collection of these. I kind of feel like a lot of the Dariuses are going to get kind of the same score from me, for my personal enjoyment level. And that's what my ratings are going to be based off of, I think. Exclamation Discord in chat. Is how much I enjoyed them. We'll pull that up. So I think a lot of these I'm going to be able to take from memory as well. So gonna make this really confusing. Having the duplicate chat and duplicate me. I need more commands apparently. What? That's invalid now? Son of a bitch. Yeah, those, I don't know if there is a way to get like a permanent invite code. Well, shit. Is it? Because it seems to like recycle for me every few months. There it is, though, if you guys are interested. But I'm going to go ahead and grade the Darius's all together, kind of. I've only got the 3 cartridges. Wow, that's crazy. First, 33rd, and 66th were the Darius games. I'm going to give these, like, these first 2, like, a 6. And I will say that because I feel like these are far more enjoyable than R-Type. Yeah, I still die a lot, but I do feel like it's not as brutal when it comes to quarters and it being designed around that spec. And Cosmic Revelation, because of Darius Burst EX, which is far more approachable and I can see being enjoyed with multiplayer, I'm going to give that a 7. And so, God, this is getting confusing with my multiple screens here. Hello, where's my mouse? Thank you. Next, we had Horgy Hue and Friends. I think this is kind of an underrated game. It reminds me, in everything but aesthetic, it reminds me a lot of UN Squadron and how you buy upgrades and how it plays out. And I do like that little flippy mechanic. It definitely has a little bit of like a mobile game vibe to it. The aesthetic is not the greatest. And the bullets are somewhat hard to see in some cases, but I do like the pixel art of the backgrounds. The enemy design is just fucking bizarre in this one. Which isn't necessarily like a deal breaker for me. It can still be really fun and not have the best aesthetic. I know it's hard when you've got games like Drainus that just like look so fucking pretty with that pixel art. To compare this to that. But as far as fun factor goes, I've had a really good time every time I've played this game. It's got a lot going for it. It's not extremely long. It is challenging though.
Oh. You know, you tell me, man. I guess it's fuck. It's make your own lore.
We're gonna give Horgy Hue a 6 as well. Just because I think there is a lot of room for improvement. But it's still enjoyable and I want to come back to it. Anything above a 5 is something I'm going to come back to and play more at some point. I'm probably going to be a little stingy on the score here. Aha, yes, Graceful Explosion Machine. Very mobile game aesthetic, but really, really cool design factor. Like how it plays out is unlike any other shmup I know of,
I'll have to check that.
where the levels just like loop, and you've got 4 different weapon buttons that all have their own ammo capacity and energy gauge and are useful in different situations. I really like the wave-based mechanic and how the scoring is based on combos. I do like the games that actually give you a chance to not get hit, and it's really about where you focus your resources. It is far more like, even from your very first play, I feel like this is skill-based as far as, instead of like luck-based. Yeah, Graceful Explosion Machine was rad. I really like this one. I think this will be my first 8. I played this all the way through this stream. Like, I think this is one of the shmups I played the longest on stream. Multiple hours. I'll warn you though, this one's really tough to fucking get a hold of nowadays. It was only put out physically by Super Rare Games. As far as I know, there's only 3,000 copies of this, and I think this one, it has started to command a pretty high price, but digitally I'd highly recommend it. It's absolutely worth the price that it's going for digitally, I'm sure. But yeah, Graceful Explosion Machine gets an 8. And this will be nice because I'll be able to like sort by column after this as well. 13 bucks on Steam. Very much worth that, I'd say. And I think this is... I played this until the end. No, okay, I did play
Shmup-a-Thon.
Oh, Dodonpachi. Okay, yeah, these might be my very favorite shmups. I have very little I can say negative about these. The art direction's amazing.
Looks like a seizure.
The bullet patterns are...
Yeah, super easy.
The bullet patterns are very tough, but they're manageable, and what I like about it is it's about half and half between like a structured bullet pattern that you can kind of see coming, and then you've got to be really smart about where you're placing yourself, because like half the bullets are coming at you.
At least, dude.
And
again, like, some of these cartridges have like 12 games on them.
That was a lie.
So,
I think the most any cartridge has is 6.
We're gonna be here doing the.
I'm a liar. Yeah.
So I haven't
Okay, so Dodonpachi.
played this one since I originally got it for the Switch. Probably.
That was Blissful Death, yeah. Blissful Death gets a 9 out of 10 from me.
God, I can't believe the Switch has been out that long. Fucking getting old.
And that's when I got, like, right before the Shmup-a-Thon started.
So yeah, I'm not gonna remember.
Raiden. Okay, Raiden is another series I absolutely love, and I had a lot of experience actually playing in the arcade growing up. The local arcade did have, I believe, an original Raiden cabinet or a Raiden 2 cabinet. I can't recall. But I had never played Raiden 3, 4, or 5 until this generation, and pleasantly surprised. I'd say, like, the department that it was lacking in the most was probably the music. It was pretty underwhelming. It's all right, but it's not something that screams like excitement and energy. And my other complaint about Raiden 3, 4, and 5, I'd say, which are all pretty comparable games. They all feel like around the same level of quality, especially these modern remasters of them, is that it's hard to see the bullets a lot of the time. Like, there are times, like, in a level like this, where you'll get, like, pink bullets when there's pink backgrounds, and it's just hard to see. Almost some overstimulating nature to it. We will go ahead, since they were all pretty comparable to me. I'm going to grade them all together here. I think Raiden 5 was my second favorite. I think I'm going to give it a 6. Raiden 4, I think, was the weakest of it. I also think that the port was pretty bad. So as far as like rating this with performance in mind too, especially when it comes to the Switch, this is one I'll have probably a little bit of trouble coming back to. Yeah, okay, and Raiden 3, I was going to say, one of these did have really good music, but Raiden 5 was pretty underwhelming there. I'll give Raiden 3 a 7. Okay, and I think Raiden 3 was the final game. Yeah, final game in that one. All right, so part 2, we did Cotton Reboot, which this is one of the other cartridges that they actually removed English from.
On a regular controller. We've got a better controller for this kind of stuff.
And Cotton, what can I say? It's a really good cute 'em up, one of the originals. Probably some of the most goddamn ridiculous dialogue in any shmup. Which is good. I like games that don't take themselves too seriously, but still provide a really fun experience. This one, it is a remake of the MSX original, which I think I actually play that on here too.
When I purchased the... Would it happen again?
Or maybe I don't. Maybe it's one of the other Cottons that I play the original version on. Yeah, but the entire Cotton series is very solid, except for, I think, Panorama Cotton, which actually gave me motion sickness. Would not recommend. That happens very rarely to me. It's not something I have happen very often.
It is sometimes hard to see what's going on.
Even like in VR and shit, I can handle that, but yeah, not as much. Cotton Panorama was awful.
Bomba.
But Cotton Reboot, definitely a solid remake. Okay, so I did play through the original. Solid value. Yeah, these are worth coming back to. Maybe not worth mastering, but still a very solid game. Yeah, see, Panorama Cotton makes me sick. Quit after one, continue. So that's going to be kind of hard, because that cartridge, you know, I'd still say, you know, give it a 5 value, probably. Yeah, I really like that they included the original, too, though. Like, that is nice when they do that, when it's not just a remake. Yeah, and Cotton Fantasy was spectacular. I do like that more than Reboot. We're going to give that an 8. We're going to try to get through some of these that I remember really well a little bit faster, so we don't have to rewatch everything here. I should have done this from the beginning for it to be a little bit more authentic with the ratings, but I think I'll be able to do a good enough job. Yeah, and then here's the original. MSX, baby. Yeah, Strictly Limited Games is doing that. Or maybe they're doing them in Japan as well. But there's actually... As far as I know, they were doing NTSC and PAL-CART versions, Strictly Limited games. But they're a company I'm starting to have a bone to pick with. I have a handful of games that I'm waiting on, that I've been waiting on for a long fucking time from them. If you go here to the incoming games, anything from Strictly Limited. Eschatos, that's a shmup I've been waiting on for about a year now. No update for when it's coming. Ray-Z, I wish I would have been able to include this in the shmup collection. I've had that ordered for over 2 years now, and it's not in yet. As you can see on here, I'm expecting it to come in winter of 2023.
Oh, right in the
Not sure if you can see the problem there. Snow Battle Princess Sayuki, I ordered that quite a while ago as well, over a year now at this point. That was supposed to come out in spring of 2024, and we're about at the very end of that. No update there either. Steel Empire Chronicles, another shmup collection that I would have loved to have in this marathon. I might do a marathon DLC at some point once all of these come in. Also from them, Cider Reloaded, that's another one with no update, another shmup that I would have loved to add. Columbus Circle, okay. I'll have to look into that. They might... Well, the shmups, I don't care too much if they're in Japanese for the most part. Except for the funny ones like Cotton. Like, it's really fun to read that. I do not know Japanese, so... I would have to rely on shitty Google Translate to get through those. Oh, fun. Yeah, the homebrew scene is fucking cool. I love that there are people that nerdy that are doing that stuff. That is some of the coolest shit, keeping those old consoles alive. I like that. And then I'm also waiting on Tiny Thor from them, which is a really cool platformer that I'd love to get, but they've been slacking really bad. For a while there, their excuse was the pandemic, which I don't know. Things have basically gotten back to normal from that. I don't know how long they can keep that excuse going. They did move to a new warehouse, so that's kind of a little bit more understandable. But I do know also they've been letting go some of their staff. One of the co-owners is no longer listed as a co-owner, just out of nowhere. Their LinkedIn page no longer lists them as the CEO. Yeah, so on Play Asia, here I can take you to it really fast here. But right here, Play Exclusives. These are all the games they put out that you cannot get anywhere else. Yeah, and they've got some good ones. They've got some unique stuff here. Like a handful of the shmups on this list were exclusive from them. Like RXN Raijin was exclusive. Ghostblade HD was exclusive. And at this point, yeah, they've got 3 pages of just even Switch stuff. I have Smashing the Battle, 7 Pirates H, Cosmo and Like Dreamer, which this was one of the last shmups I played, and that's a fantastic one. Oh no, gotcha. It's easy to think that's what it is, because how would you know otherwise? I could certainly see thinking that. Got Scourgebringer from them. Really fun game. I'd love to play more of that. Mario Crystal H I ordered from them. Mugen Souls and Mugen Souls Z I ordered from them. I'm thinking about ordering Soldner X. But that one, I'm not even sure. It looks like they might have sold out of their pre-order of that already. They do seem to like reprint these though, so that's something else. Like, they are exclusives, but all of these games so far have gotten a reprint, the ones that are already out. Powwow Rumi is another awesome shmup. I think that was Brazilian developed, so like it's not like it's just Asian developers that they're getting the exclusivity rights from. Shinkondo Soul Eater, that's a Korean developed shmup. I did get that one as well. Also a fantastic game. Trigger Witch, that's fun. It's a little bit buggy, but I love the concept. I love the twin stick and multiplayer aspect to that one. There's RXN Raijin, I did get that one. Let's see what else here. Dimension Drive, which we played yesterday. Not the best, but it is a game that exists, so I'll give them that. And then an ad break, of course. I don't know if it's actually, the timing seems to be off, like it tells me you guys are in an ad break sometimes when you actually aren't. Yeah, there's only a couple more here that I got. I have probably half of the games they've published, though. They do have a pretty... It's worth the money. The basic editions are only $30 usually, and as you can see, some of the limited editions are even $30. But yeah, now if you're back, also picked up Death Road to Canada. Holy shit, is that game awesome. It's one of my favorite local multiplayer games I've ever played. It's a zombie game that plays like Oregon Trail. It's fucking amazing. If you have not played Death Road to Canada, even if you don't have a bunch of IRL friends to play with, play this fucking game. It is so good. Yeah, especially my Canadian viewers. You should play Death Road to Canada. It's about escaping the US and making it to the Canadian border. And I've never beaten the game. I've played probably 50 or 60 runs. It's incredibly difficult. A lot of RNG, but it's really fun. And again, it's like Oregon Trail. Like, a lot of crazy shit can happen. I don't want to spoil too much. All I will say is if you have any part inside of you that enjoyed playing Oregon Trail as a kid, and you do like beat-em-ups, especially you, Matt Rude, I think you would really enjoy this. It's a top-down beat-em-up. hack and slash zombie survival meets Oregon Trail. There's nothing like it. It's fucking really good. All right, back to the grading here. What did we play after Cotton Reboot? And that one should be pretty cheap digitally as well. Like, I highly recommend it. Especially if you got any buddies to play with, because yeah, that does make it better if you can play with friends. Because just like Oregon Trail, you set up your own characters with their own names, and random shit will happen to all of you. You can set up your own personality types, and I don't know. There's so much to it. I keep going back to it, even though I haven't beaten it. I have made it to the Canadian border, and I have a couple friends who have beaten it, but I've never been able to beat it myself. It's definitely very challenging. Very fun, though. Oh, okay, so here we go. Razion EX. This is a fucking really cool game. This was, talking about homebrew color theory, this was a homebrew title for the Neo Geo. And the developers are out of the Netherlands. And they are self-publishing a handful of their games and porting them to the Switch. They did just come out with a new shmup last year. And where's that on here? Gunvein. That's their new game, and that's the first one they've made in HD for modern systems. It looks fucking fantastic. That's supposed to be shipping soon, and if I get all of these in within a good enough time around each other, like I'll try to do a DLC to this marathon to where we play everything that came in after the marathon ended. Because this is one I'd love to show off. But yeah, Razion EX is fucking awesome. I love the bosses. The bullet patterns are fun. I like the mechanic of being able to destroy the bullets with your charge shot. It requires intentional and intelligent use of your charge shots. Challenging but fair. Highly recommend getting your hand on that game for sure if you can. Not the physical copy though. Can't suggest that. It is going for a lot of money. Yeah, that's one of the shmups that it's closer to just being like your cockpit. That's the hitbox. It's pretty modern design spec when it comes to that. Absolutely love it. Will 100% be going back to this to try to do better. I'm not going for 1cc's necessarily. Just trying to trim the fat and get down to what my favorites are. And the way that the scoring works is pretty neat, because you've got to kind of balance the use of your charge for getting rid of enemies, but also like any of those cubes they leave behind, if you hit those with a charge shot, it turns them green and makes them worth a lot more points. So you can use the charge shot to max your score, or you can use it to, or like that, you can shoot through walls with your charge shot, which is another important part of that. Great shmup.
Better at that one.
Absolutely recommend. Oops. Default view. Alright, so next we had Jamestown Plus. This is a modern shmup that is set in an alternate universe if, like, pioneers had gone to Mars instead of the West. It's a very fucking strange story.
Oh, damn it. Good to use strategically, not like that.
Lots of different options for your ship. It's up to 4-player multiplayer, which I absolutely love that. I was able to play this on stream with a friend, and it does make it a lot better. There's kind of like a new Super Mario Brothers save each other kind of mechanic, to where you can retain lives and not game over as much if you are able to save each other. Good music. Maybe music isn't the best part about it, but it's serviceable. Really easy to see the bullets. The movement feels really good. Enemy design is good. Highly recommend Jamestown Plus. That's another really high score for me. I'd say that one actually gets a 9.
Oh,
Saw credits eventually is all I said about it. I was apparently in a really... I needed to leave or something that day. I didn't say much about it.
Temple of Crow.
But yeah. Comes highly recommended.
Yeah, that was better.
Very good modern take on the genre. Hey, look, there's Elmo.
That was better. It was horrible. Surprised we got this one.
Okay. Another little bit of a story time here. I think I go over it in the background here, but I'll go over it again really quick. This is another game that I've been waiting... this company that developed, or published this game, rather.
Alright.
Oh shit, you're actually here. Good timing for that, man. We just saw Elmo on the screen, then all of a sudden you show up. What are the fucking chances? What are the chances?
Probably got some pre-orders that have been waiting for a while too.
The Shmup-a-Thon is over, Kev. Welcome in. And we're just going back over the VODs and scoring the games. Rival Megagun was fantastic. It is a multiplayer versus shmup.
Bad breaks, man. These are starting to make
The campaign itself is pretty good, but the meat of the game is being able to play this against your friends.
yeah, it seems like
There's no other shmup like it. Like, you each are on one side of the screen, and kind of like those Tetris versus games, you're able to like send attacks to the other side of the screen. And then if you do well enough, you're able to turn into a boss, and you go over to their side, and you have a bunch of different attacks that you can send at the other player as a boss.
I'm not ordering anything else from that.
Absolute gem of a game. Very, an 87 out of 10. No, an 8 out of 10.
See if I can remember how to play this one.
The company that published it, though, is First Press Games. And they're another company who is holding shmups hostage from me.
Right, the real meat of the
Crimson Clover. I want to play this game so damn bad. It was made by Clover, and Sea Lover stands for Cave Lover. Cave's my favorite developer, and this game is absolutely inspired by the very best cave shmups. Looks fantastic. I have had that on order since 2021, and I'm not sure we will ever see it. First Press Games, unfortunately, has a handful of really good games that they are holding hostage, and the excuses just keep coming out. As of even this last week, they've tried, updating people and saying, we're going to get to it, we promise. But I don't fucking believe it. I'm losing hope, and I've got a good amount of money tied up in that. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to get refunds on pre-orders I placed in 2021. I guess we'll see, though. I'm willing to hold out a little bit longer for Crimson Clover. You see yourself out now already? You just got here, though, Kev. You just got here. But yeah, the campaign of Rival Megagun is still absolutely worth playing.
I see it now. Stopped communicating.
2 scattereds on screen. This is a nightmare. I don't blame you there. Soul Cresta. This is a new game in an old series, and they kept the graphical style true to form. I love the mechanics. You're able to arrange your weapons in a bunch of different shapes and formations, and it changes what the weapons do. Very high level of difficulty. Great music put out by Platinum Games before Hideki left the company, so this is like one of the last things he was involved in. He was also not involved with Bayonetta 3, which was why I think I have yet to really want to pick that game up. Hideki Kamiya is kind of what drew me to Platinum Games, and since he left, most of what they've done hasn't really spoken to me. But yeah, Soul Cresta is absolutely a fun game. Also would recommend, but the super high level of difficulty might be a turnoff for some people. I'm going to give it a 7. And yeah, I think I might have played this for the rest of the stream. Yep. Solid fucking game, though. Good times. All right, Dodonpachi Resurrection.
Oh, I did not see that.
I think this might be my favorite shmup. I absolutely love this game, and the Resurrection package comes with so many different gameplay options. It looks beautiful, it plays beautiful, has an absolutely top-of-the-line soundtrack. It's very easy to see the bullets.
I was in the wrong spot there.
It's a fucking classic, man. Yeah, I think this might be the only shmup on here that gets a 10 from me. And very close second to that is the other Dodonpachi, Reincarnation, got a 9 from me. But yeah, I find it hard to believe there's going to be any other shmup I want to go back and actually 1cc as much as this game. I love Dodonpachi Resurrection. Phenomenal game. Anything by Cave, though, feels like a masterpiece to me. I do love that company. Akai Katana Shin is also going to score really high. As well as Mushihime Sama, another amazing shmup. I played it a lot on this stream. I definitely played through a couple times there. Devil Engine. This is another modern shmup that looks retro, has a lot of modern quality of life, really cool unlockables.
That's, I think, the most useful.
Not super long. It's got this really cool Panzer Dragoon style charge up mechanic where it'll lock onto enemies.
Where it's like you've got platforming almost in your shmup.
Yeah. Devil Engine.
It makes it where you can kind of
Devil Engine gets a 9 from me. That's another very, very top of the line shmup in my opinion. Can't go wrong with Devil Engine. Okay, and this is when I got sick with Panorama Cotton and almost threw up on stream. I'm not going to subject you guys to too much of this. This one was
relaxing game though. After
it was pretty bad.
after Devil Engine and Dodonpachi.
On Devil Engine. Yeah, game's tough.
Stage 1. This goes on.
I might eventually come back to Devil Engine and try to get closer to a 1cc. There's still a lot of things to unlock, I think. What's the name of the Afterburner? Is that the game I'm thinking of that's also on Genesis that looks like this? That has this kind of parallax scrolling type stuff? 'Cause I never really liked that one either growing up. If that's what I'm thinking of. But yeah, we already rated those. Panorama Cotton gets a Make Me Puke rating. This one's really crazy. Yeah, Afterburner Space Harrier. Okay, that's the other one I was thinking of 100%. Yuru Kill. This is quite possibly the most unique game I decided to include on the list. This game is only about, I'd say, 20% shmup, probably 30% visual novel, and 50% detective game. There's really nothing else like this. And what, did it take me like almost 2 hours to get to the shmupping?
Amounts left in each bottle are...
It took quite a while. So I did not want to play this one through
falsely accused.
all the way on stream, obviously. Yeah, here's some of the shmupping from it. But if you're a fan of Ace Attorney or any detective games, and also shmups like I am, I couldn't have pictured a better marriage. I have gotten a lot farther in this game off stream. I don't think it's the best stream game, just like any of the Ace Attorneys wouldn't necessarily be, unless you've got the right kind of audience for that. But I know, at least in my opinion, they're probably not the most entertaining things to watch. I think they're more entertaining to play, very much so, if you're into lots of dialogue, which I like novels and shit, so, and I actually read occasionally, so that dialogue has never bugged me. Yuru Kill just gets a lot of high score for me, although I think that it would not be for everybody. I'm going to give it an 8. Game's great.
Correct. Yeah, and you can just play it through as a
If you like Ace Attorney and shmups, I can't think of a better game to recommend, quite honestly. Ooh, Star Hunter and Space Moth. Really fucking cool art in these games. My biggest complaint is how difficult it is to see some of the bullets. Basically, you've got this, with Space Moth here, you've got this charge attack that will drain the soul of enemies. And it is slightly more powerful, but if you drain the soul from enemies before killing them, their bullet patterns get more difficult. So it's kind of like difficulty on the fly. You can kind of adjust it.
shmup now.
And even though it'll bring the enemy health down a lot, if they turn dark, that means you've drained their soul and then they start firing extra bullets at you, which in later levels makes it incredibly difficult, but still a really, really fun game. And it's packaged with Space Moth.
Not good for points, but it's good.
If it's cheap, man, and again, if you have any like of the Ace Attorney games or any detective style game whatsoever, not just Ace Attorney, LA Noire, any of that kind of stuff, yeah, like, it is absolutely worth it if it's cheap. And yeah, I scored that pretty cheap as well, simply because I probably would have paid full price for it if I knew about it at launch, but that's one that kind of passed me by that I didn't know about. I think I might have seen a trailer and not seen the shmup part of it. But I eventually saw it for really cheap. I'm like, what the hell is this? And looked into it. I'm like, how the fuck did I miss this? This is so for me. But yeah, PlayAsia has been doing a lot of good sales recently. I just picked up, this month they're doing, is it a 3 for $60 on specific games? Isn't that right? I believe that's correct. Do I still have that command? Yeah, if you want to help me out, I do have an affiliate link there. It's really stupid because even if you go to like the homepage with my affiliate link, as soon as you leave the homepage, it doesn't keep my affiliate link associated with it. So the only way that works is if you place an order from the product page with that tag ID after it. No expectation to do it, but since we're talking about it, I figured I'd throw it out there. But yeah, PlayAsia is fantastic. I have ordered so many fucking games from them.
You try this.
And anytime I've had an issue with it, like if something happened during shipping, they've always been cool to take care of it. Their customer support has also been absolutely fantastic. There is obviously a language barrier, and they're using some sort of translation service, but even with that, they're very patient, and so am I, so it's been really easy to just, try rephrasing things if they don't understand, and they've always worked with me. There have been times where I've pre-ordered a game, and then after that, like, for example, Assault Suit Lanos and Macross Shooting Insight, both of those were initially advertised to have English on them, and before they came out, English was unannounced for those games because they were getting Western releases, and the publishers were like, you gotta take English out. PlayAsia was nice enough to let me, move different games into those orders and stuff. It just took a little finagling, but they were really nice about that. It doesn't make it any better, though, that's becoming a little bit more of a common practice to be like, oh, we're not going to announce a Western release until really late, and then we're going to force the Asian versions to get rid of their English support. And that really does suck for people who live in the Southeast Asia regions that speak English as a second language, because there's hundreds of languages in those regions, and most of the time games don't get made in their native language, and these people know English as a second language, so they kind of rely on the Asia English releases to be able to play those games, and now they're having to import from the US or from Europe. Yeah, or as a first language. Yeah, English is very common there, and so it's kind of a slap in the face to a lot of people in those regions that had reasonably come to expect English in those Asian releases, and they're now getting English taken out of them for the sake of making a few extra sales for those publishers, the people in the West. Where it's like, again, if you would announce the Western version early enough, I wouldn't fucking pre-order the one from Asia. Like, dragging their fucking ass and announcing the Western release. It's not my fucking fault. Star Hunter and Space Moth. Didn't talk about Star Hunter as much. It's side-scrolling as opposed to top-down scrolling. A lot of the same design aspect. Very fun game. Hey, I'm sorry I don't have the no swearing for stream channel redemption. Maybe I should put that up just for you, Kev. But hey, I get passionate when talking about my shmups. What would you say is your skill level when it comes to fluency with Japanese, Color Theory? Where do you place yourself for like between 1 and 10? 10 being completely and absolutely fluent like you were born in Japan. I am curious. Ooh, another one of my very favorites. This game just feels so nice to control with an arcade stick. Yeah, I'm sure that's kind of hard to like really pin down. But that's pretty awesome. So I mean, for the most part, you can play games in Japanese. Maybe some of the ones more based like on
we doing all right?
ancient Japanese stories where they're using a lot of old lingo and stuff you might have some trouble with, I'm guessing, maybe.
Warning.
Stuff that uses really colorful, older language type stuff. Gotcha, yeah. That's pretty cool, though, man. That's awesome you've been able to dedicate yourself like that and even get to that level with it. That's pretty cool. A lot of that's just got to come with like immersing yourself with it, which I think is probably something. Maybe I'm wrong, and you can tell me that, but something that was probably pretty cool about being able to go to Japan and immerse yourself is you were able to practice that a lot.
That's how we get a lot of points.
In person with people, which I'm sure is very useful. Which is why if I do start taking Korean classes, I would love to be able to travel over there for a stint. Yep, period dramas and stuff like that.
No miss.
A lot of older Korean stuff is based in Chinese though too, so I know that that's going to be that's going to be a little difficult because it's kind of like having to learn both. But yeah, Rolling Gunner. I love playing this with the arcade stick. It probably makes the best use of my arcade stick. You let go of the fire button and readjust your direction, and your secondary gun, once you press fire again, will be locked in the opposite direction that you were moving in. Takes a little getting used to, but once you get that down, it feels so good to play. I love Rolling Gunner. Another very high score for me. That's going to be a 9. That's a good game. Highly recommended. Yeah. Pretty fucking obsessed with the system, and I don't have a lot of other hobbies, which makes that possible. So. Yeah, so you were totally immersed.
But yeah, it's just there's such a great selling you a lie at that point.
Yep. So now we get side-scrolling Samurai Akai Katana Shin. This game's cool as hell. Another cave shmup. You can tell it's a little bit earlier than some of the Dodonpachi games that I was playing. But still, you've got that great bullet patterns, great mechanics, where it's very heavily skill-based and reaction-based as opposed to memorization. I personally am much more of a fan of reaction as opposed to memorization. Kai Katana Shin gets an 8 out of 10 from me.
Games, but they usually run longer than 15 minutes. Stay golden, Pony Bob.
Absolute maniacal difficulty at times, but still so fun to play.
And that seemed to be fine for a while.
Yep, Kai Katana Shin is also great. I think that was it for that one. What we got here? Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Oh boy. This one's really interesting. I am pretty unfamiliar with the manga and anime series. So this entered my collection.
Wow.
Yeah, there is.
Pretty fast. I don't understand.
And it's solid. A lot of, games based on animes are not very often the greatest. There's a lot of shit.
My character's bad. He's not
Almost as much as 90s cartoon-based video games in the U.S. But no, this one's very solid. It's honestly very, very challenging, but it does have a lot of different options for that. I just was kind of finicky and decided to stay at the harder difficulty because I thought I could do it. I was if I remember right, I was very close to beating the one main route for this in this run, but decided to move on. And yeah, the main mechanic is you switch between the 3 different ships. As long as you can keep them alive, you can see here in the upper left corner, like their health regens when they're not the active character, or you can regenerate their health with pickups and enough points, I think it is. But if one of them dies, then you lose them for the rest of the levels. So the trick is to kind of, keep switching out your characters as you get hit to stay alive longer. Fun dialogue, lots of collectibles, lots of options. Very solid for what it is. I'd say it's a 7. Yeah, much harder than the cutesy design implies. Played on normal, got my ass handed to me. Come back and beat eventually. Good game, just really hard. Solid. Cotton Saturn Tribute, Guardian Force. I like Guardian Force more. So these ones are kind of hard to grade, simply because it's a package of 2 games that I feel differently about. As far as value, I think PlayAsia had this for like $25 when I picked it up. Absolutely worth the price of entry there. And definitely like Guardian Force more. Colton Saturn Tributes. Guardian Force. Because of Guardian Force, I'm going to give this collection an 8. Yeah. Guardian Force is amazing. Still very difficult. I do like the Saturn shmups. I wish that console had been more successful here so the games weren't ridiculously expensive to collect. Even the Japanese ones are getting expensive, especially like the shmups and stuff, so I was really happy to see we were getting some of the Saturn games ported to Switch. Makes me happy to see it. And most of them have been serviceable ports. I know there's some complaints about input lag with specific ones. Rightfully so in some cases. Escaluda. Another amazing shmup. I do have lots of good ones. A lot of these games are going to get pretty high ratings. God, yeah, I love the bullet patterns in this one. And again, the background design, Cave is just like second to none, man. They really know what they're doing. This does offer a Tate mode, so if I eventually want to be able to get it to where I can get a TV mount, so I can vertically mount a TV specifically for some of these games, because I think that would be fucking awesome to actually play these where it fills the screen. Escaluda 2 gets a 9. That was a fucking solid shmup. All the sounds where you're killing all the poor little angels. It's so brutal. All right. Zombie Nation and Aberembo Tengu. I picked this up not having much experience with it. I knew of Zombie Nation, basically because I'm a collector, and that's, at least for a long time, it was one of the most expensive games on the NES. And as far as I know, it still goes for $300-400 for the loose cartridge. Not cheap. Was able to get the collector's edition of this from Japan before it had a Western release announced. I'm glad I did. I got something really cool with it. I was able to get the prototype version of the game that was only available with the Japanese limited edition. I had to create a Japanese eShop account to download that. But for some reason, they've made the download unavailable. So when I got my new Switch, it's one of the few things I wasn't able to get again. Even though it still showed that I had it in my eShop purchase history, it would not let me re-download it. So I don't know what's up with that. It's pretty unfortunate, though. No, because I'm able to re-download anything else I've purchased through the Japanese eShop. You just have to have a Japanese account on your Switch. Without any modification, you just, when you're making a new profile on your Switch, you set the region to Japanese for that new account. And when you go to the eShop, it pops up the Japanese eShop. I have a Hong Kong, a Korean, a European, a Japanese, and an American account on my Switch to be able to get the DLCs and stuff for the different regions. It just doesn't like... And I had to make a new Nintendo account to be able to access eShop funds and stuff like that for each one of those. So it was a bit to manage, but I have a document on my computer to help me keep track of all that shit. But yeah, any of the Japanese games that I've bought that have like pre-order bonuses that require that.
To continue because you're now completely powerless.
Yeah, you just go to the eShop for that account. And what's cool too is I could then play those games on my American account and still have the DLC that was only available from the Japanese eShop. It's pretty smooth how that worked. I was pleasantly surprised by that. And I guess that's what it is, but it did let me download it originally, and I can still go into my Japanese eShop account and see that, but it will not let me re-download it.
Game is to go to level 1. Oh man, I can actually die from that. Okay.
Yeah, though I don't think the Wii U let you do that. I can't speak with certainty. But Zombie Nation's kind of more of a gimmicky game. I do like it. It's very short. Hard to recommend. It's definitely very aged, but it is a piece of history. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's worth playing just so you can understand the history, and it plays well enough. But as far as replayability, it's not at the very top of the list or anything. But not bad by any means, especially for the time period it came out in.
Times better when I got that arcade stick.
Gear shifters. This is a cool concept. My biggest problem with this, I would say, is that the backgrounds are very generic. I'm not a huge fan of the art style. But there's I haven't come across anything else like this. I mean, it's kind of got that
I think there's 3 different plates in there.
Road Rash vibe going for it.
Decrease the weight.
But I mean, yeah, you're driving a car and it's a top-down, side-scrolling shmup. Yeah, Spy Hunter. There you go. That was a perfect. There's a perfect comparison. Modern Spy Hunter and side-scrolling. Because Spy Hunter was vertical, right? If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, short of the art style, it's very very good game. Lots of upgradability. It's got some kind of, Gran Turismo style upgrade all your car parts type stuff. It's good. It's good. And it's also very cheap, so I'm going to consider the value in that too. It gets a 7 from me.
Are you playing fighting games or arcade shit or?
Gets very difficult very fast, and it's got this mechanic where you're able to like drift and your car turns sideways. But that's the only way you can aim like totally up and down is you go into a drift, and then you can like aim down or up based on the direction of your drift. And then you can flip your car around in reverse and like start driving backwards and shoot behind you. Very cool game. Should be pretty cheap by now too. I definitely recommend it if you're a shmup fan at all. It's worth a cheap price. Not life-changing, but still a very fun experience. Is that all I played? Okay, Cotton Fantasy. Yeah, Cotton Fantasy was good. I think I misscored this one. What did I put for this?
Cotton's some of the best, but they're just really difficult.
Okay, Cotton Fantasy I did give an 8.
Not as difficult.
Yeah, that's about what I wanted to give it.
Oh boy. Good night, Meg. Thanks for saying hi.
I would like to know, because they didn't translate, like, in the Cotton games, like, what she's saying as she dies and stuff. So that would be something that would be useful for knowing some Japanese for.
Yeah, they don't scream comfy shoes by the name. Come on.
Very funny cutscenes in all of those games.
Alright, I think the boss is gonna be right.
This is an interesting one. I am not a fan of the respawn mechanic.
Ow.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I was just saying, in the Cotton games there, in Cotton Fantasy in particular, you can play as multiple characters, and they have voice-acted lines that aren't given subtitles, even though the rest of the game is translated and given subtitles for the cutscenes, but like their in-game dialogue isn't translated. So I wasn't able to, enjoy what they were saying, though I'm sure it was probably something quirky and ridiculous because it's Cotton. So I was just saying it would have been nice to know Japanese a bit for those parts. Earth Atlantis is really cool, but again, like, the thing that turned me off the most about this game was the respawn mechanic. It's kind of like got a Metroidvania feel. It's all in one open map. And you've got to like re-go through areas a bunch though, and I think that there are a handful of design flaws to it that make it not the greatest, even though I am a fan of the art style and I like underwater shmups. I like that idea a lot.
Did require you to go get oxygen.
But yeah, hard to recommend this one. I think this is going to get a 6 from me.
Dude, the actual story in Echo the Dolphins is really fucking weird too.
Yeah, I remember
Alien.
feeling comparisons to Echo the Dolphin with this game, with like not knowing where the fuck to go or what to do. There was a bit of that, a bit of getting lost in it as well. Caldarius Blaze. This is a fun one.
Forbidden spell.
Bullets were a bit hard to see. Sound effects got kind of grating. It's a bit of a budget shmup. Still has a lot going for it. Lots of different options on how to play it. It's got some fan service, which, hey, that's never necessarily a bad thing. Like all the bosses, as they take damage, their clothes explode off like it's Senran Kagura or something. Yeah, very serviceable shmup. I feel like this is worth playing if you are a big shmup fan. Music's all right. Overall, I kind of feel like this is in between a 6 and a 7, but I'm still going to give it a 7.
Alright.
Yeah, homing laser is always nice, and I like the one in this game too because it it picks one enemy to attach to, But then like the big circles of it can still damage enemies. So like you still got to do some reaction there. It's not all
Nice, thank you.
just a brainless lock on.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get on as much as I'd like. Been pretty damn busy. Like
And what do we do next here?
oh my god, bro.
Oh fuck. I'm embarrassed.
What do you do?
I do love Ikaruga, but oh my god, am I bad at it. And I do feel while there's some of the same criticism I could levy about it being
Yeah,
very
I've been done, like,
memorization heavy,
A long fucking time.
I think it's far more forgiving in the sense that you could do it the first time if you're paying enough attention and have good reflexes. Like, it's not absolutely impossible from the get-go, like R-Type.
There's no continues in the actual mode of this game.
But I'm just not very good at it. I fucking love it,
Yeah,
though.
there's only one game that uses this
I don't have
mechanic.
much negative to say about it.
This originally came out on GameCube.
I know, I criticize R-Type a lot. I still like it. I still understand its place in history.
Fuck me, bro.
But yeah, I believe a better gamer could do much better than I did for my first playthroughs of this. I think this was the second time I'd only ever touched
Oh
this
my
game.
God, I'm
Like,
already the right polarities.
I never had it on GameCube. I never played it back in the day when it originally came out. Yeah, there are parts, but yeah,
Oh my
and
God.
I will say that too. Like, there's
Unless
still
you know everything that's
still
coming.
yes parts you absolutely have to memorize and would not be able to do the first time. I would just say that compared to R-Type, there's less of that in this. Like for a section like this, for example, like you can read what you're supposed to do, and there's more of that in this game than there is in R-Type. And parts like this, for example, like yeah, like you need to know.
Battletoads level shit there.
Yeah, it is Battletoads shit. You need to kind of know where to be. But see, this is like my second time playing it, and I was able to get through a couple of those sections. With R-Type, I just felt like I was getting stopped at every
Yeah,
corner,
this is
and
one of
it's
those
like
games
with
that's like
R-Type too,
played
like if you
500
don't
times
keep your power-ups, you
before
are
you get
so
anywhere in it.
fucking powerless by the time you get further into the game. And like if you allow yourself to keep continuing, you don't have anything stacked up, you're going to be just dying over and over again. Because it's about memorizing it and then keeping your power-ups. If you happen to die once, it's like nope, back to absolute low
I wasn't
power.
looking forward to this one only because it shows exactly how much of an
So yeah,
amateur
Ikaruga, I'm gonna give an 8. Earns its place as one of the hardest shmups of all time, is how I, I criticized it. But it's hard to criticize it. The music is phenomenal, the artwork is phenomenal, the mechanics are creative, especially for when it came out. I do like it, and I would like to get better at it. Oh, 100%. Yeah, like it's very hard to criticize because you can tell the quality involved, and that the same thing with R-Type, especially some of the later ones. Like they're still quality games. It's just not my personal preferred style of play. But if I would give this a rating to someone else who's open to all types of shmups and wants like an average understanding of its quality, I think 8's for me where it would sit at, even though I know for a lot of people this is a 10. A lot of people say it's their very favorite of all time. Psycho Shooting Libraries. Both of these had a lot to offer. Very, very nice collections for the price. So in Japan, it got released in 2 volumes, Psycho Shooting Library Volume 1 and 2, and each cartridge has 6 games. They are all in English, even on the Japanese versions. For Europe and North America, it got split into 4 games per cartridge onto 3 cartridges. So hard to recommend those when these are available and still pretty cheap. They're very good value for the money. So the grades for the Psycho collections are kind of also going to be based on value, because there's 6 games in each. And then for Psycho the Volume 2. Fun collection of classic shmups. Samurai Aces 3 excluded. That game is pure eye cancer. That game is hard to look at. That was a PSP game, and yeah, that's another one that almost gave me some motion sickness. That is very, very difficult to play on a big screen, and I think might have been
Oh my fucking god.
better staying at home on the small screen just because of the amount of things that are happening and how it looks blown up. It just did not translate to the big screen very well. I did like the first library better. I'm going to give that a value of 7, and also this gets a 7 as well, because each game had one that was not good.
Good lord.
But again, for the price, it's super hard to complain. There's
Yeah,
some
that's
great
not okay.
classics in both of those. All right, moving on. We've got Shinkando's Soul Eater. This reminds me the most out of any of the games in this collection. This reminds me the most of the Toho games, even though I haven't played this on the most extreme difficulty, but just the art style reminds me a lot of Toho. And the bullet patterns, from what I've seen. I don't have the balls, really, to play Toho. I haven't really delved into that yet. Those games look incredibly memorization-based. Which, again, I'm not totally against. It's just not my style. I want to play too many other types of games. I don't want to spend forever memorizing one game. Yeah, and I think there's probably some accessibility. Maybe you can correct me if you know, but like it's not all just the insane difficulty modes that you see on YouTube all the time. God, these bosses are creepy as fuck too.
We're farting.
Gotcha.
Damn it, we're fighting.
I've watched a good deal of playthroughs of them, but usually on the Maniac or whatever, like the hardest setting is. It's just so fun to watch those, and yeah, the bullet patterns are some of the most beautiful in the Toho games. Really did a good job making a spectacle, really good eye candy. Which is part of the reason I like a lot of these games. I really do like the... it's almost like meditative to me, just to sit there and watch the moving art like that and like immerse yourself inside that art by avoiding getting hit by it. Yeah, I'm afraid of the harder difficulties of Toho, I'll put it that way. God, these bosses are so disturbing. Music is phenomenal in this, though. Good shit. Shinkando gets an 8 from me. Actually, you know what? I feel like it's closer to a 9, so we'll pop that one up to a 9. I think I would consider this a must-play for any shmup fan. And this is one of the ones that's PlayAsia exclusive for the physical. Frame rate's good, response time is good. I can remember feeling really pleased with that on this as well. It felt really, really good to play. Good fucking game. I think I did replay that one, the harder difficulty on that one. Oh boy, so here we go, another treasure game. Another highly respected game with a lot of memorization that I am garbage at. And it doesn't speak anything for the quality of game. This is another one that I can really confidently say is better than I make it look. I did have somebody come in on this stream that really annoyed me. Basically, you know, telling me how shit I am for not being good at this. And I'm like, dude, this is like my second time ever playing it. I'm sorry I'm not a god gamer, bro. I still found it really fun. Unfortunately, I do feel like I have to use controller for this. I'm not sure how it was set up, but like, you know, this came out for Saturn, if I remember right, for Japan, and those had the 6-button game pads. But those buttons are all closer together, and I had a hard time playing this on my arcade stick because you've got the 6 different buttons you can press, and then combinations of buttons to get other things to come out. Amazing music, amazing design, Still lots of memorization, and then you've got a lot of
It really is an awesome game.
hidden
I just don't know
mechanics
how
when
to
it
play
comes to scoring.
Eventually, I will come back and try to learn this a bit. But
Yeah, I still feel the same way as I said it
out
there.
of all the shmups that are out there, this probably has the most specific chain of things you have to do to actually be good at it.
Yeah, I still
Like, you
feel
gotta
that's pretty
study it,
valid
like,
too, because I looked into it quite a
like a
bit before
biology degree.
playing it.
Like, okay, this creature needs this type of weapon, type of thing. Oh my god, that was a wall.
Radiant Silvergun still gets an 8 from me. Yeah. Definitely see why it's revered among enthusiasts. Deserves more playtime from me for sure. Very cool, again, to have another Saturn shmup in physical form on the Switch.
It's also a
Very happy about that.
boss here.
Oh,
The
Demon
level
Throttle.
layouts are mostly the same, but what can be random is like different weather patterns.
Oh, Demon Throttle. This game is given so much shit by people that didn't like the fact that this game is only available physically. You can't get this on any digital store. I mean, you could pirate it digitally, maybe. But this game is only available in physical form. It was a gimmick by Devolver Digital. And it absolutely was a gimmick that they played really heavily into. I thought it was fine, because, you know, I think owning games is better anyways. But in that essence, it kind of probably did detract a handful of people from, you know, people that just don't buy anything physical, which I think is just as valid. There's valid reasons to be into physical and into digital. But this game is so freaking cool, man. It's very hard to play single player. Multiplayer is the best for it. 9 out of 10 for me, though. Very funny. Nice level of challenge. Very, very replayable. I see my review. This game is still awesome. Beat normal mode on second try. Multiplayer is way better experience. Still really fun single player. Shot the demon in the dick.
It's over.
Underwell? No. Let me
Yep.
pop open a tab here for
Damn.
things to look into.
Yeah, this game is about 5 times harder without multiplayer. Give it one more shot here.
Interesting.
It's really
Downwell.
coming down out
Okay.
there, so yeah, we start to see some
I have heard of that one. Underwell is something.
level variations here. Now it's raining.
Yeah, I do remember Downwell. And that is one I really would like to get physically. There is a physical copy of it. And in fact, I'm not sure I still have that on my want list. Let me see here. I need to put that back on my want list. This was put out by Special Reserve. I'll probably want to get on that before too long. I know that the reserve copy came with a flip grip
And,
for your
secret
Switch, so you
levels
could
are kind of in each
you could
level.
flip
They're
the
usually
Switch
in
screen
levels,
vertically and still have the Joy-Cons attached.
So you just kind of got to get lucky and pick the right side of the map to go down, especially in
Yeah,
first
Demon
person
Throttle is
single
so
player.
fun, man. This is a very, very replayable game. It's got secret levels. It's kind of a mix between platforming and a shmup. Kind of feels a bit more like Pocky and Rocky. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think it was Doinksoft. This was put out by Doinksoft, developed by. But I do remember looking at Downwell and being like, yeah, I need to get that someday. And for some reason, it didn't make it into my want list. But yeah, thank you for reminding me of that, because that's definitely one I
Full upgrades for one
want to
character
acquire
this
before
time.
I'm done collecting for the Switch. Which hopefully that'll fucking stop soon.
Might be beneficial.
I have a problem. I'm not sure if you
Yeah,
see
after they
this,
played
but
the single player,
I have a problem.
normally you
I
wanna
have a
kinda split
problem.
the upgrades
That's
with
the amount of
single
Switch
players.
games I have physically. I have a little bit of a problem. Oh, interesting. So he was like at Nintendo for a little bit. What was he doing at Nintendo? Oh, and that's still more than reasonable. 500 is fucking unreasonable. There's just so many good damn games for the system that I couldn't stop once I started, and I had the problem of buying the system like right near launch. Yeah, of course I'm still streaming. I don't gotta pick up my son till later today. He's doing the last Smash Brothers Club of the Year at school.
Bad aim there.
So I've got another hour and a half here to try to get through these reviews. I don't think it's going to take me that long. I'm not going to ask you to spoil it. I don't want to know who I'm fighting. Dude, the biggest hassle with it was the fact that this is the generation that saw the birth of all those limited print companies. And thankfully, a lot of them are getting a taste of their own medicine in the sense that they bit off a lot more than they could chew. And so I'm kind of relieved that that's not something we're going to see going into the future from a lot of companies. It's just that so many of those companies started happening that didn't stay true to their mission statement of like trying to provide only games that really deserved to be, you know, like to have a more expensive version. There's a lot of limited print companies that put out shovelware games that are crap that you'd have to pay $40 for just for the privilege to have crap on a cartridge instead of just spending $5 to play it digitally a couple times and forget about it. Like, what became a problem is a lot of these companies are over-promising, and I already kind of went over that with the games I've been waiting on for multiple years. They kind of bit off more than they could chew, and I think at this point they've already spent through a lot of the pre-order money. Like I am truly worried about being able to get my money back if those games never materialize. With strictly limited games, I'm feeling a little bit better about it because I actually have over a dozen games of theirs that they produced. But First Press Games has like 12 games you can pre-order on their website still, and they've only produced 3 of them. Only 3 of them have ever actually made it into people's hands. And I only have 1 of them. So, yeah, it's kind of crappy. So, this is a port done by M2 Shot Triggers of Shmup-a-Thon. This is an incredible shmup.
Whose side are you
I think this one might have also originally come out on Saturn. Don't quote me on that. I can't really remember the history of it. But this is co-developed between Atlas, Cave, and Sega. Very, very cool combination of teams, and it shows. This is a rad shmup. Also very much the top of my list. Like, again, I think every Cave shmup on my list is getting a 9 or a 10. Like, I absolutely love the interface here. I love this map on the right side that lets you see how much of the level is left. I love all the data, even though there's very little chance you're going to be able to look at it very much while you're playing. Amazing soundtrack, amazing visuals, great bullet patterns, great level of difficulty, awesome mechanics. Can't say anything negative about it. 9 out of 10. Absolutely. You know what? I think this one actually deserves a 10.
Almost had that.
Damn it, Kev. It's not very nice. No, I'd scatter if I heard about me too. So you mentioned me at the ice cream truck and the guy just scattered, is what you mean to say. Shoot, we got anti-snowman level puns in here. Yeah, ESP Rade, absolutely worth the money if you're still hanging Color Theory. This is not a cheap game. I believe it's kind of held its price forever. It has come back into stock a couple times on Play Asia. Highly recommend it. Any Cave shmup, I'd say, is worth its weight in gold, man. I wouldn't wait for a discount on this one. It's an Atlas game. I'm not sure how many copies of this they actually did end up publishing for the Switch. But I can't imagine this one will be around forever. If not buying it physically, get it digitally. It's so worth it. Yeah, he hasn't been on as much, and he also streams at times that it just seems that I miss him constantly.
Yep. About to get a game over, or whatever you said.
But he's a fun dude. I do appreciate Anti-Snowman. 100%. We get along. Man, did I put all of this in ESP Rade? You know, I played Sivariar Delta too. This is a game that was published by a company that did end up folding, and they had more games on the horizon, but this is one of like 2 games they actually successfully published out of like 5 they had pre-orderable. But they ended up folding, and those other games never saw the light of day, and a lot of people didn't get their money back. Fucking Dispatch Games. Yeah, this is a solid shmup for sure. I like the little close-up window. What did I say about it? Hard as shit, can't understand the hitbox, doesn't show you the hitbox. Fun to a point, but could be better. Yeah, that's kind of what I remember about it. This gets a 6. Decent soundtrack. Yeah, like that close-up was actually useful a handful of times. When the bullets are moving slower, you actually can switch over and focus on that instead.
Wow.
Oh boy, more Darius. Boy, I suck at Darius. It's because we're bros, man. Elmo and I also get along. You know what? Rocket Kev and I also seem to get along, regardless of how you always have to leave whenever I come around. This one's crazy, playing the ultra widescreen shmups on a screen like this. It was very difficult to play actually because of that. I think I already graded the Dariuses. Yeah.
That is technically what that would be.
Very unique design. They just don't hold up the best, in my opinion, when it comes to their difficulty spikes.
His mom and I have not been together.
What do we do next? Oh, God. Okay, so here, Kev. This is the game that keeps popping up that clip.
Yeah, the Switch 2 better be a decent.
The daddy your own ass, you ugly object. Look, there you are in chat. On the video with the SpongeBobs.
What's up, Kev?
This is kind of funny talking to you in both the VOD and in the actual stream I'm doing right now. But yeah, this is the daddy your own ass, you ugly object game that clip that always plays on your stream comes from. The translation and the dialogue, absolutely ridiculous. Gameplay is very fun, man. Plays good on the Switch. Good response time. Bullets are kind of hard to see. But a lot of that can be mitigated by the fact that you've got this protection circle you can put around you for a good amount of time. That will slow the bullets down. What the fuck is Kev talking about, man? I don't know. Elmo has a filthier mouth than me, man. But we did it, Florida. We're done with the Shmup-a-Thon. We're just going back through the VODs and kind of giving a basic 1 out of 10 or 1 to 10 rating for each of the games. Elmo is a felon. How you doing today, dude? Enjoying drinking all of that water. I even put "Daddy Your Own Ass" here on the on the review. Yeah, Trouble Witches gets a solid 7 from me. What type of felon, though? That is important. Yeah, and you said that's gonna have to keep going for like weeks, right? That's I don't envy you there, man, but I'm glad you're getting the shit taken care of. That is important, and hopefully this will be past you before you know it. And that they'll do it right the first time this time. I have some stomach shit that I'll be going through next year. I had a endoscopy earlier. Or wait, was that? Yeah, that was like in February. But they found some shit that was kind of concerning, so I'm gonna have to go get some biopsies and that kind of fun shit. Nothing potentially cancerous, but potentially ulcerous and things like that. So I'm not looking forward to that, and that's going to be continued maintenance and going in for more endoscopies throughout the year, which, take it for what it is. I mean, you could say a lot of dirty things about it, but I've got a thin throat, so my throat was really fucking ragged from the camera going down my throat. It took like a week and a half for it to feel normal, for me to like feel like I could swallow normally again. Medical procedures suck. The human body sucks. If there is a god, I'd say, you know, I'll give him like a 6 out of 10 on body design. Works in most cases, but yeah, generally can be quite shit. Let's move on. Castle Shikigami 2. Budget game. Still very enjoyable. For the price, it's absolutely worth it. Yeah, still punches well above its weight class is kind of what I had to say about it. Definitely a 7 out of 10. Even though, again, it doesn't look the best. The mechanics are great. The bullet pattern designs are well thought out. Good level of challenge. Fun game. Definitely a handful of options for different characters you can play as. I always love that. It's where the characters all function differently. All right, it's the worst game on my list. I might throw this one in the garbage. It's absolutely awful and was fucking with my brain. There's no camera. There's no way to stop the camera from snapping.
Sure this is priced in the bargain bin at this point too.
Yeah, it's crap.
I'm seriously kind of getting nauseous though. If it's doing that to me, I'm sure it's not very nice to watch it.
Yeah, it's an awful game.
So yeah, I think.
I tried to say something nice. Very ambitious game from what seems to be a smaller studio. I'd say this gets a 3. That's the lowest rating I've given. Yeah, still though, the worst experience for me medically was having a lung collapse, and that was a tube in the chest, and that was fucking awful. That's still the worst pain I've ever felt in my life, was getting that tube pulled out of my chest. They need you completely awake and alert for that, and I had no painkillers at that point. That was fucking awful. This game is absolutely fucking incredible. I like a good twin stick shooter, and it has some of the most original design and concepts in this. I love how creepy the bosses are. Has a really decent story that doesn't overstay its welcome. For a shmup, I'd say it's one of the better stories that exists. Yeah, man, so I've got to be really careful with my lungs and shit as I sit here and puff on a vaporizer.
Limiting the direction I can
The thing is, though, I kind of wish the doctor would have told me it was from smoking, because I used to smoke a bunch of pot, and I used to smoke cigarettes. And they were able to determine, without a doubt, that the lung collapse was not because of my smoking. Now, obviously, I was still doing damage to my lungs smoking, and the doctor did tell me that. But I think the doctor could have got away with saying, yeah, it's because of your smoking, and I probably would have quit smoking a lot sooner. But I ain't going to put that on the doctor. That was all on me. But I had what's called a spontaneous pneumothorax, so it's completely spontaneous. Leon! Yo, welcome in, everybody. Shiro Cobb, Cell Kittens, Crescendo. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for the raid. Leon, how you doing, man? How's everybody else doing, too? We're just doing a wrap-up of my marathon here. I'm not sure it'll let you do that, but I'm going to do that for my handful of people that are in here that might not know Leon, but I'm pretty sure everybody here knows Leon, but guess what? We're going to do it anyway. Because I need to remember to do that. Leon's an awesome dude. Give him some love. He plays great games. Oh, you played Hotline Miami?
Okay. Okay, we got them.
I do love those
Leave
games.
him to me.
Those are great.
Oh, okay. It's a woman with the eye patch. And I'm pretty sure. That was quick. What the freak?
So you were playing more Majora's Mask today, huh? How close are you to finishing that? But yeah, what we're doing right now is we're going back through my VODs and grading all of the shmups I played. I just got done with a marathon I've been doing since February of this year, where I was playing through all of the shmups that I own for the Nintendo Switch physically. That was a total of 66 cartridges. And we just got done with that. So again, we're going through and grading the games. Maybe not the most fun content right now. But yeah, this was a very fun marathon, and I am... Yeah, I said 9.5 out of 10 there, so I actually gave that one a grade already. 9 is worth it. Gotcha, so are you trying to 100% it? Is that what 100% entails, and that one would be getting all the masks? I've only beat Majora's Mask once, and that was ages ago. So I barely remember anything about that game. I remember more from watching other people play it lately than I do about my own playthrough. But yeah, this was Never Awake. This was one of the very best games I played in the marathon. Oh, very unique shmup. Twin stick shooter with a really unique art style. Fun, creepy story. Some of the weirdest looking bosses, weirdest looking enemies. The difficulty and points system in this shmup was really cool because you see at the top of the screen there's a percentage. As you kill enemies, you collect their little souls that pop out. If you intentionally avoid collecting those, the level will loop. The level keeps going until you hit 100% on this meter. So you can intentionally, to increase the score and the difficulty, loop the levels intentionally, and each loop you do of the level increases the difficulty, but also increases your points. So it's got a very, very flexible skill system to it, to where it's not insanely challenging at its base, but you can make it more challenging based on how challenging you want to make it, which for high score runs creates an entirely unique experience. Which mask don't you want to get? Because I'm trying to remember which one was a pain in the butt. Because I do believe that the one time I played it, I did get everything. I was still kind of a completionist at that point. What does that entail doing? I remember the name of the mask, but I don't remember what you have to do to get that one. Yep, and that's it for that one. So we're trying to cut through this somewhat quickly here, because I should have done these ratings as I played the games. is multifaceted. Like, are we talking as many obscure and random things as trying to unlock Cloud in Final Fantasy Tactics? If you understand that reference. RXN Raijin. This was a cool PlayAsia exclusive physical for the Switch. It's a very heavy anime styled shmup that has like 80 levels and a cool level up system. The levels are very short, but they're challenging, and the design is very good. It's just sometimes the levels felt unsatisfying because they were over so fast. Music's good, dialogue's good, user interface is good. The port is really good. It's a very solid game for the Switch.
This is one of the very first releases that
Definitely a 7 out of 10, I'd say. Yeah, grinding experience is a thing in that game too. Not something you usually see in a shmup. It definitely has some RPG aspects going on in it too. So it's exactly that. It's like, yeah, just really obscure things that you've got to do. That's one I would like to replay, but I'd really like to see if any Zelda game were to get an HD treatment. I do believe the N64 games kind of do deserve that. Would like to see them put out a Ocarina Majora's Mask like HD dual pack or something. That would be really nice. Otherwise, I'll probably play it on 3DS again, because that's what I played it on originally. And that was super nice to be able to have like full camera control with the new 3DS and the little thumbstick, the second thumbstick. It actually made it to where you're not relying on the C stick and those hard camera angles that remind me of the worst parts of Mario 64. Yeah, RXN Raijin was a solid game.
Because your weapons can't do it.
Oh, and Switches are about to get really cheap, Kev.
Powerful enough.
I'd almost say, you know, like, if you're not really dying to play it, like, wait until the Switch 2 is announced here in a couple months. And it's going to be really cheap to get into the Switch.
Lots of fun with Baldur's Gate.
Oh, yeah, and back-to-back, we got Ghostblade HD next, which is another shmup from a budget small developer. But it's got a really cool art style. And
Wasn't on my bingo card.
the bullet patterns weren't the most inventive or intuitive. But I remember really liking the balance of the game. It is somewhat difficult to see the bullets at times based on what's in the background, so I do have my criticisms of it. But overall, for how cheap it is, even physically now, it's absolutely worth a buy at the price that they're asking for it. I'd say this also gets a 7 out of 10 for me. Yeah, great art style aside from bad color palette and choice for the color palette choice for the bullets. I'd say that still rings true to this day. We stuck with it, yeah, for the rest of this stream.
But anyways, where were
Getting sidetracked. Really want to play more games with you guys. Yeah. No, and it would be nice too, because it's about to be summertime. This is when I was going to have more time to do community gaming with you.
We'll start firing it, but you actually have to let go of the fire button.
So yeah, if you do get
All
one
those things you
soon,
said were correct.
you know, let me know. Because I'm about to have a lot more free time, at least for the summer. Staring Den Binary Stars. This is up there with one of the most challenging shmups that I own.
This is a pretty unique shmup in the sense that
You're going to hear me double talking here.
it's entirely randomly generated.
There you go. It's entirely randomly generated. It's a roguelike shmup.
We had no way of.
And every time you play, it's different. So it's like infinitely replayable. That Discord link is broken.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Here's the current one.
I'm
If
pretty
anyone's
sure
interested,
got
I just
really
had to
close.
refresh that earlier. I need to.
For some reason, just got
Need to
caught up in
replace
other
it.
Games. I was like, oh, I'll come back to this. That does happen occasionally.
But yeah, this game is really freaking hard. I have made some good progress before. The one aspect that I will say is not roguelike of it is there's nothing that's like permanently unlocked except for ships. Like you can unlock different starting ships that have some different mechanics, but that's the only thing that is permanently unlockable. There's nothing unlockable to make the game any easier. it's extremely challenging based on the RNG you get. But I really like the fact that you never know what to expect with it. It's going to be a different game every time you play it.
are some of your other?
And the way the power-ups work is really cool. There's a huge variety of different weapon combinations you can get. And yeah, very solid game. One that's absolutely not worth paying the aftermarket price for at this point if you're going for physical. This was only released through strictly limited games back in 2018, I believe, so right near the beginning of the Switch's life before a lot of people were buying those limited print games. And I do believe this is currently one of my more expensive Switch games. I think it's going for around $200 even opened. So hard to recommend at that price, but if you get it digitally, it's absolutely worth it to play it. 7 out of 10 for sure, easily. Probably closer to an 8, but we're going to give it a 7. I remember getting my butt handed to me this stream. I did not do very well on it.
Probably it's over pretty quick, it would seem like.
Is that the only one I had time for this day? I think so. I think something came up and I had to leave before the end of this stream.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, next stream we played Danmaku Unlimited 3. One of the best soundtracks of any shmup. It's extremely heavy
We're gonna
metal.
Get that figured out because this is getting pretty bad.
Very colorful. Somewhat seizure-inducing potentially with how much flashing there is in the bullets, but they're very visible. One thing you won't be able to say is that you can't see the bullets. You might see them too well. Very, very difficult, but very good. Danmaku Unlimited 3 gets an 8 out of 10 from me.
Let me see here. So that would be.
And yeah, definitely some memorization-based stuff, but nowhere near as much as like any of the R-types. Which, if you're new to the channel, that's something I complain about. The more memorization-heavy base shmups, I'm not as much of a huge fan of. I think a lot of those are born out of the era of, we're going to try to get you to take as many quarters from your mom's purse as possible. And that was the main design spec.
Fuck off.
Those shmups I have a harder time playing these days. But then we get another cave game, Mushihime-sama. Some of the weirdest enemies. I love all the bug and plant-based stuff in this game, and the graphics are just so nice. Really hit that sweet spot of pixel-based graphics and sprite and 3D model combination type stuff that was... I believe this originally was, for consoles, it was an Xbox 360 exclusive, even in Japan, which is weird. But yeah, it's another cave game. They're my favorite developer when it comes to shmups. I haven't played a game from their library that I didn't absolutely love. This is absolutely another 9 out of 10 for me. Very easy to say that. Don't have to think twice about it. Mushihime-sama.
Close my browser.
Fantastic. Yep, I think that was the last one played on that stream. A lot of these streams I did only play 1 or 2 in. Bullet Soul. Definitely very chaotic. Very loud.
My life got a lot easier with these games as soon as I picked up an arcade stick.
Yep, and that still stands true.
But I kind of wanted to like play them in sequence.
Very busy.
Kind of
I can remember
what my
this.
favorites are.
I can remember these bullet patterns not appealing to me the most. Like,
And dude, like,
a lot of the flashiness was in
yeah, Ikaruga's awesome.
just the design of the
It's a
ships.
really good shmup, and I understand why people love it.
The backgrounds are pretty boring.
Yeah, it's got some insane.
And the enemy design is kind of lackluster. But I still definitely enjoy this one.
No, you can't.
And I forget the developer, but it definitely felt more like a budget title. I'm still going to give it a 7 though, because it is still absolutely worth playing and very nice to look at for the most part.
But, I mean, it was
Except
really,
for when it comes to the kind of like the bland backgrounds. Yeah, and as I put here in the review, maybe the original version poses more of a challenge. I only played the Black Label, like the remake, or the remixed version of it, on stream.
I'm doing that too.
Drainus.
Despite,
Modern shmup
one
perfection. This game is so good. And yeah, this got Color Theory to buy it, apparently. I'm happy I was able to sell this game to somebody. This This is a really, really cool shmup. Very visually compelling.
And yeah, really, really easy to look at.
Very creative enemy design. Again, a lot of reaction-based gameplay as opposed to memorization, which I'm way more fond of. I think this is one of the very few non-cave shmups on my list that it gets a 9 out of 10 for me. It's modern. We're not seeing very many shmups come out that are actually trying to push the genre into something that is new, and this really felt like a breath of fresh air. I give it a 10 out of 10 here, but on retrospect, I think I only feel that Dodonpachi Resurrection hits the and Esperade like really hit that perfection level.
How you doing? How you been?
There are some criticisms I give to this game, but very few. What's a shmup?
We're getting a lot of the anime titties.
Are you new here, Rocket Kev? If you're serious though, shmup is short for shoot them up. It's a squishing together of shoot 'em up into a single syllable shmup.
I'm gonna get twin wide shot next, but let's go ahead and get a reflective laser.
But it's basically any game where you're shooting out
The last bit. No, that's
tons of bullets, and there's lots of enemies flying at you. God damn it, man. You're killing me, Smalls. Yeah, if you were serious, that is the... Wait, what the hell just happened?
I feel like I might have a decade on you at least.
What just happened?
I'd like the world to be a better place for my son as he's becoming an adult, you know? It's,
Well, that went way back to
I
part
thought about
6.
that.
What the hell happened there? Oops.
it's got platforming
I don't know what I did.
stuff that I don't like. We're really of 65. Better term like secret boss.
What the hell? Okay, well that was Stereoden.
In their later games, they really had
Okay, Mushihime-sama.
really fun.
There we go. Okay, this was the one I was on.
Ow! What do I do?
Yeah? Sorry, just bouncing back and forth here a little bit. Yes, Drainus. Got a 9 out of 10. Now we're on to the Visara collection, which is a collection of 4 classic arcade games. Really nice to look at. I do remember there being a recognizable input lag with this port, so it's hard to recommend based on that. But that shouldn't take away too much from the actual design of the games, which is absolutely really good for their time.
That it's actually about
I would have loved if my local arcade had this. But thankfully we get to play them now at least, except you got a little bit of input lag, so that's not the best. Because of the port and stuff, I'd say probably a 6.
fucking thing happened. Yeah, it's gonna start me over, right? Yep. All right, we'll give this like 2 more shots.
Yeah.
It's the only console version of.
Okay, the right ends I already graded all together. Velocity 2X. This is an interesting one too because it's basically 50-50 a platformer and a shmup. You've got these sections where you're running around and doing speed platforming, but then you've got true shmup stuff. There's a lot of puzzle solving elements to this as well. Really unique. I like the aesthetic for the most part. Music's very bland, but very original idea. Absolutely worth playing if you're a fan of both genres, of both
Yeah, it'd be cool to
shmup
play
and
Thunder Force
platforming.
again.
7 out of 10.
My buddy, who is also a video game collector,
7 out of 10,
he's
easy.
more of the Sega collector, and he does have all the Thunder stream. I figured I'd hop
All right,
on and try to.
I played more
try to-
Velocity on this stream. Shmup word's gonna be the death of me. I'm sorry, man.
such a long form commitment.
I'm sorry, man.
So I was like, fuck it.
So I played Velocity for another stream there, and even in a third stream. I completed this game, at least got to the end, the normal ending. I think I didn't play the bonus levels. Because there's secret levels you can unlock somehow.
Don't want to miss the crystal. And they told him he couldn't take it like 3 or 4 days before the.
Wow, I even did this for a 4th stream. Crazy. I don't remember playing it
That
for
it
4
was really
streams, but
worth
I did. Damn it. I did the same thing I just did a minute ago. Ugh. There we go. I think this is where we're at. Damn it, dude. I can't click. Excuse my misclicks. Okay, let's see if I actually did this right. This was the end of Velocity. Yep. And then, oh boy, what can I say about R-types other than I'm terrible at them, and I believe that they are a product of their time, still deserve recognition historically, but they're probably my least favorite popular classic shmup. A lot of people talk a lot of good things about R-type. I'm just not a fan of either of the ones that I have. This game causes R-type dementia. Guess what? I'm still terrible at R-type. And I do want to criticize it for that too, because I think even just on a objective standpoint, like, that it did not age well when the basic design mechanic was steal your mom's quarters. Yes, the music is good. Yes, the artwork is good. But I believe the gameplay severely struggles because of how it's structured. I'm going to give both of these a 5. And I might get some hate for that. But that's what I'm giving them. It's my list.
Not really getting it.
Sturmwind EX. This was a Dreamcast shmup originally. And had some very strong audio issues. There was a lot of clipping. For the era, the visuals are really nice. However, a lot of like the power-ups and stuff like that, there's just very little thought put into, and it feels like a mobile game, but from the Dreamcast era.
Alright, we got
High level of
power on
challenge, and it's still pretty fun, but I don't feel like I can give it much above a 6.
Sleep good there, man. I'll catch you again soon, hopefully.
This game was fun. You can tell it was a smaller studio project, still worth time to play. Michael Bay would love it. Sound design gets F+. Yep. Very noisy. And again, yeah, the audio is just clipping a lot. I can remember that too. Don't do it again. Yep, that was the last one I played on there. Pawarumi. So this is, if I recall correctly, a Brazilian-developed shmup. Really cool system. It kind of takes Ikaruga's concept of the black and white system of the 2 different types of bullets you can shoot and splits it into 3. So it's kind of got this triangle system, like I would say is close to the weakness triangle in Fire Emblem, except it kind of goes both ways. Based on which weapon color you're shooting, it does different things based on which enemy or what color the enemy is that you're hitting too. So like that green hand up there, if I hit it with the green, it does a different thing than if I hit a red or a blue enemy with the green. And so it was very difficult to manage and memorize the differences between that and how to like accurately pull this off. But by the end of my first couple playthroughs, I was starting to get it down, and this is a solid shmup. Good soundtrack, intelligently designed, and yeah, it was a hoot. I'd say a solid 7 for Pawa Rumi. And we're already at number 50, so we're getting pretty close to the end here. What do we do after this?
2D. Especially at this.
Super Hydora. This is R-type, but a little bit more forgiving. And with some modern sensibilities. I will say that this does treat the player with more respect than R-type, while still being an absolute love letter to it. I would dare say this is better than R-type, just for that simple reason that it respects the player more. Still not the very best. Still very, very difficult. Not nearly as memorization based as the original R-types. Things don't move as fast. Don't get crushed as quickly. I'd still say a 6 out of 10 probably is what Super Hydora sits at for me. Not one I'm going to go back to a bunch. And did I move on from here? Whoever created that word needs to be in jail. Well, it's a whole community of people, so hope you got lots of handcuffs.
Very good job of showcasing it.
I'm not sure that could be traced back to one person, so you're just going to have to arrest us all.
Definitely a me problem.
I'd like to see you try. Triggerheart Excelica. This is one of the newest ones that I got for the collection. This just came out recently for the Switch. This originally was out on Dreamcast. So, another Dreamcast port.
J-Sam, speaking of the devil.
Let's see if I can skip past that alert. But what's super cool about this one is you have this grappling hook that you can shoot out. And when you shoot out the grappling hook, it'll eventually pick up the enemies like that, and they start swinging around, and then you can chuck them at other enemies. Very unique mechanic I haven't seen anywhere else. It's a fun game. I'd say the bullet design was really good. The level of difficulty was solid. It gets pretty unfair in the later levels. I feel like it would be hard to give this more than a 7 out of 10, but it's very worth playing if you are a shmup fan. And especially at the low price point, it's absolutely worth it at what they're asking for it. I think it's $30. I didn't switch the title here. This is Death Smiles. Very strange shmup. Definitely one of the better ones, though. I'd say that the enemy design is kind of second to none. It's very ludicrous. It's kind of a mix between a cute-em-up and one that's taken a bit more seriously than a cute-em-up generally would be.
Maybe it's only mod.
But very revered game for a reason. I loved my time with those games. Those get an 8 out of 10.
What a bizarre fucking game.
Very much bizarre. I mean, just look at this guy. With the Frankenstein hands. And you got this bastard breaking in out of nowhere. A face only a mother could love.
away from me, you creeper.
Very fun games. Shoot. All right, part 25. What do we got here?
With right end 4 and 5.
Already graded the right ends. Not too much to say about them. They're classics. Raiden 3 is probably my favorite. Samurai Aces games first. Shooting Library. I think I already gave that one a grade. Yep, that got a 7. Good solid collections, worth the money. A lot of bang for the buck. Except for that one. There's one game on each of the shooting libraries that's awful. But you get 5 solid games on each one of those cartridges, and one kind of crappy game on each one. Sisters Royale. Yep, Sisters Royale is really good. A little mobile game looking. Kind of hard to recommend for that purpose, but still kind of deceiving. It's a cute 'em up with ridiculous dialogue, and the bullet patterns are good. It's a solid game. I'd say it's a 7 out of 10. Absolutely worth playing. And then we get a preview here of the next couple streams where Freedom Finger. What can be said about Freedom Finger? This is a wacky goddamn game. Probably the funniest story. The most amazing soundtrack. I don't want to play too much of this because I definitely got DMCA'd a whole bunch of times while playing this game. But I'd say Freedom Finger is an absolute 100% must play for anybody that says they like shmups. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Easily. All around an amazing game. Got very challenging in the later levels, but that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. Finally wrapped it up here. I think this was the last stream I played it for.
It's white, you can't be hit by white bullets, and if your ship color is black, you can't be hit by
Talking about Ikaruga. So Sinomura, this is one I didn't play that long ago. It was one of the first games I picked up for my Switch, period. And it was really good. Coming back to it after like 4 years since I've played it last. Holy cow. It's very good. The final boss
it's all coming back to me now.
is incredibly difficult. Frustratingly so. Very tight quarters.
Really slapping a Shmupper too?
Timing is very tough.
Pretty sure I follow him.
I'd say this is a solid 7. I know I've given that score a lot, but honestly, I tried to pay attention to what I was buying before buying it, hoping that I would like it. So,
Definitely.
not a lot of low scores on here. Sinomura is a game worth playing. Here's that section I was talking about, though. Like this final boss section is very difficult to get through. You've got time limits, and if you get hit, your time limit goes down.
God damn it, what am I supposed
So you
to
don't
do
actually
here?
have like hearts or anything like that, but if you don't get through it
Gonna run out
fast
of
enough,
time.
if you don't kill enough enemies, you don't have enough time to actually get through the level. So I died a lot there because of that. But and other than that, like it's
So
still very solid. So we're getting really close to the end here. Hey, I already said I suck at R-Type.
in the
We're done talking about R-Type for today.
games that would have a big head mode.
Oh, I love Assault Android Cactus.
Which I
Twin
think I'm
stick
using.
shooter. Very hard to say it's a shmup for sure. It's a genre bender.
Takes it out of that uncanny
But it
valley a
really
little
felt like it belonged in this marathon. It's a 9 out of 10 game for me. Very, very, very good. Highly recommend it. Anybody who's a fan of arcade style shooters. Reminds me a lot of Robotron, Super Smash TV, but with an absolute modern setting. And it plays amazing on the Switch for how much shit's going on screen. The Switch handles it well.
Venom, of course.
I definitely played this for
surprised me when
Multiple streams.
difficulty than the first version of this fight.
And yeah, I played the unlimited version of it then. So we're definitely getting closer to games I remember playing. Shino Ruby. What a wacky game. This is a more modern one. Very over the top when it comes to obviously the size of your ship. The hitbox is only that little pink diamond in the middle. A little bit of memorization based, but you're so powerful that a lot of it really is reaction based at the end of the day.
Down at chat and that's what happens, but it's okay.
Fair challenge.
This is the biggest ship to
Interesting
screen
game.
ratio
I'd say a
out of
solid
any
7 out of 10 as
long
well.
shot.
It's hard to walk away from that rating on a lot of
My
these
hurt box
games.
is just that little purple diamond though in the middle of the ship.
I repeat myself.
There.
Batsugun.
I had a buddy come over and we played it together.
Another Saturn shmup that I'm so happy that we got. Feels very classic, but it's like kind of like the
Highly
pinnacle of
recommend
that
one. I know you're
classic
not super
style.
into that genre, but
It's very nice to
if
look
you were
at.
to pick one to play,
Very well thought out.
buddies,
Lots of
that's a good one,
variety.
in my opinion.
Enemy bullets are easy to see. It's very reaction based instead of memorization, which I do tend to prefer more. Batsugun gets an 8 out of 10.
Little pig. Little piggies. Into it.
And is that all I played on this one? Yep. All right. Getting down to it here.
Because yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Twitch thing here.
Yeah, that's when my alerts are broken. All right. Rigid
Like
Force
Well Read Photo Mags
Redux.
for the,
Also another game that
articles,
takes
right?
the basis of R-Type and brings it into the modern era with a lot of quality of life. And it's a lot more enjoyable for that reason. It's not trying to steal your quarters. It's well thought out.
Oh fucking come on!
7 out of 10. Even though I was yelling at it there. 7 out of 10.
You even get it?
Alright, part 36. We got Dimension Drive, which
But let's go.
I think my impression of it improved a little bit.
How are you doing
But still very mind-bending to the point of, at least for me, not being very fun. It seems very short for the concept, like it could have been a lot longer.
Lies.
And it's just evil. It's a very difficult game for your brain to figire out, which can be a good thing. It's not bad simply for that, but I feel like they took the mechanic and then like forced it upon you. It feels pretty lazy in its implementation. This is another pretty low score for me.
Attacking its inner court short range is extremely dangerous.
Yeah. 4 out of 10.
I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Not a great game. Then we have Cosmo Dreamer and Like Dreamer. Very deceiving when it comes to the box art and what it looks like. Holy shit, is this a well thought out game. Really cool bullet patterns. Really fun to play. Controls amazingly. The Switch port it feels 60 FPS, almost locked.
Get hit right away.
I can't say that for sure, but it feels that way. Both games in this package are great. And for $30, it's a steal. It's a very good game. Very good set of games. And, well, yeah, there's a very heavy use of pastel, which isn't my favorite. I think it works really well for this game in particular. And it makes it really easy to see the more bright and neon colors of the bullets. I was never lost to where I was at, and I think the UI works perfect in this situation. I'd honestly say this is somewhere between an 8 and 9, but we're going to go ahead and give it an 8. Very solid. And then today we ended on Darius Cosmic Revelation. So that about wraps it up. There ain't much more to say. So yeah, that's the end of the 2024 Switch Shmup-a-Thon. There will be a DLC add-on for this Shmup-a-Thon. At some point in the future, when I wrap up my Switch collecting, we'll play through the shmups that are supposed to arrive at some point in the future. But I'm ready to move on with the stream. Next time I stream, the point redemptions will be back that allow you to pick what game I'm playing. But I think I might jump directly back into some RPGs that I've been wanting to replay. My very favorite series, the Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy. I've been a fan of the Xeno games, Tetsuya Takahashi and his team, since he worked all the way back at Squaresoft in the Golden Era, where he worked on Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger, some of the all-time classics, but then formed his own team and then worked on Xenogears, left Squaresoft, teamed up with Bandai Namco for 3 games with Xenosaga, which has some mixed reception, but is some of my favorite sci-fi of all time. Then they made the Baten Kaitos games, which are very underappreciated card-based RPGs that came out on the GameCube. And then they did the Xenoblade Chronicles games, 1, 2, 3, and X. And I'm not going to commit to playing all the way through X again, just because that's Wii U, and that's going to take that game takes a long time to play. How I would want to play it. So at this point, I think I'm going to at least commit to playing through Xenoblade Chronicles 1 on stream, and we'll see how it goes from there. But as far as another marathon, I'm not exactly sure where to go from here. The shmups are a genre that were easy to do this with. I'm not sure I want to do it with any other genres because it would take a lot more time to do so. These were very easy for me to pick up and put down. Most of them can be beaten in one sitting. Cannot say the same for a lot of other genres. It wouldn't be as easy to do this with or as manageable. But I'm looking forward to whatever it is next. I don't know where we're going next, what we're doing next. But yeah, thanks for hanging around. I'm going to go ahead and raid our friend 1063. Give him a follow. He's a good dude, good dad, and we need more of those in the world. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys being here. Thanks again for the raid, Leon. I really appreciate it. Sorry it wasn't the most exciting thing today, but I really wanted to get through that review process and put this entire Shmup-a-Thon behind me. And that has been successfully done. And I'm excited to see what's next. Thank you guys for all being here. Love ya. See you next time. Until then, peace.
Oh shit.